$75 gets you 15 rounds of golf. Some courses include Sleepy Hollow, Oneida Community, Westmoreland, Stonebridge, Cedar Golf, and more. There are a limited number of cards available, so don't delay. Get your $75 Town Square Seize the Deal golf card at seizethedeal.com.
It's time to start the program. It's time to earn our pay. It's time to meet the people on the Keeler Show today.
It's time to read the news and weather. Time to figure out what to say. It's time to turn the channel of the Keeler Show today. Why do we always listen? Keeler's always in the know. It makes me want to call him and tell him where to go. And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started.
It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
While driving in my CX-9 by the Stanley on Genesee, a guy in the bike lane with a shopping cart pushing scrap metal right by me. The guy looked rough, but he was moving fast as he kept on tuning his horn. A Chicago market shopping cart dated 1984. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. I pushed my foot down to the floor. Johnny Rocket in my wake. The complete street reduced to a single lane, and now I was forced to brake. He pushed that yellow cart past me as he kept up his horn play. I'll show him this complete street mess gives me the right of way. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. My car went into passing gear like Ricky Z said it would. Now this race is just not fair, his downfall understood. But when I peeked in the rearview mirror, I could not believe my eyes. The grocery cart was right behind, I'm gasping with surprise. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. Now we're doing about 55, I made a second lane. The shopping cart going right past me is messing with my brain. This guy must have been about 75, sucking on a bottle of gin. I'll show him that these complete streets are not for guys like him. Beep, 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 beep. His horn went beep, beep, beep. Now we're doing about 95, his car began to smoke. He still pulled right up next to me as if we're going slow. I rolled down the window and he yelled at me just so I could hear. Hey Keeler, I'm just wondering, can you spare a beer? Can you spare a beer?
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
I find it just a little bit ironic that yesterday I sat through a meeting here, which was a really good meeting, where we went completely paperless, paper-free, because the internet-based system we were going to use is going to take care of all the things that would involve paper on a normal basis. And today we have no internet and no paper. So welcome to 2023.
And I don't know exactly what happened. Oh, look at that.
Are we back up now?
No,
back
no.
up.
My computer finally unlocked itself. I was just kind of frozen
Well,
there.
it is not good when you tether to your phone in order to grab internet this morning, which is what I've done. And when you find your computer's actually running faster than it normally would onto the station's normal internet.
Yours might be. Mine definitely is
I'm
not.
flying. Well, it's that AT&T Greeley Ford. Thank you. Good. Although Greeley probably can't hear because I don't think we're not streaming on the app. However, if I check right now, I believe we are streaming, and we are on YouTube. So if you can't get it on the app, you can pick us up on YouTube. Just search for it and make sure you subscribe because it'll pop up in your inbox, your email every single morning. Big game last night. Comets. Wow, they were up most of the game. Gave up 3 quick goals, then came back to tie it up with just seconds left. It's not often when a team pulls their goalie and it's successful, but it was last night. And then they ended up losing in a shootout, but they'll gain a point.
Yes, they do pick up the point, and those crunch. Ugh. Anyway, they got the victory. The goalies last night, I mean, I know they each gave up 3 goals, and 5 of those came in the third period. But they stonewalled the penalty session there. I mean, only 2 goals got by out of, 10 attempts, I think it was?
Yeah.
So the Crunch, they get the shootout win. 2-1 it was in the shootout. But so the Comets pick up a victory. I mean, a point, excuse me.
So I do want to what a great night. And we were there, of course, for an event that you now have the ability to do today. So if you're bringing clients in, you're bringing people in, you want to wow them, you can take them to a Comets game, put them up in a suite, and what a great introduction to the area.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really pretty cool. So let's talk about this is something that Davey brought up. Maybe I'm not going as quickly as I thought. This is something that you brought up yesterday, Davey. The press conference after the loss on Monday night with Syracuse. The press conference with Jim Boeheim.
Yeah, asking about where Benny Williams was.
So turns out it was just a reporter from it wasn't the Daily Orange, it was the Tangerine or whatever it is. But it was a student reporter, who got to ask the first question, and he asked where Williams was, and Boeheim went into it became really bad. Like, that's your first question? Of all the questions you could ask, that's your first question? Well, you just lost, and one of your star players wasn't on the bench and didn't play. I think it's a fair question.
Right.
And, he's a student. He's not a reporter from, Syracuse.com or something. He's a student. Not that anybody should be treated that way. But, Davey, what was it like? He went back and forth. It was quite demeaning.
It was typical Boeheim answer.
That's funny. It was quite demeaning, wasn't it? Yeah, it was typical Boeheim.
Yeah, thank you. What I would do, let me see if I can pull it up here. I have it on my phone because I can't pull it up anywhere else on my paperless device. And this is what I thought Brent X wrote a really good story, which is currently up at Syracuse.com and posted yesterday. Whether Jim Boeheim cares or not, the Syracuse basketball head coach should know his latest petulant pushback on a reporter's inquiry isn't playing well beyond the orange bubble. A quick recap. Boeheim was asked on Monday after SU's 67-62 loss to Virginia why sophomore forward Benny Williams wasn't in the Dome for the game. No reason was given to the media for Williams' mysterious absence before the game. The school referred questions to Boeheim, saying he would address it at the postgame conference. Boeheim didn't address Williams in his opening statement, then took the first question from reporters. Coach, what's the status on Benny Williams? Boeheim's annoyance level hit 11 immediately off the opening inquiry. and this is so typical of Boeheim anyway,
Right.
which he addresses, Brent X addresses. Is that your question, Boeheim said? Is that your most important question, the most important question that you have? The reporter responded, he was not on the court today. Boeheim, is that your most important question here? Reporter, I'm just curious. He wasn't on the court today. I give the kid credit for,
Yes, me too.
this is a student, and he's standing firm. After a short pause and a stare down, because you know that stare that Boeheim gives. I used it in the commercial we did for Real Men Get Tested a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You need the stare. Without the stare, it's not Boeheim.
Yeah.
And he'll stare at you like you know nothing about basketball.
So
What he said to me. But, of course, we wrote that line for him.
I referenced Manning face on yesterday's show. There is a Boeheim face.
There's a Boeheim face, and that is, it exists, and it will burn a hole through your forehead. Reporter, I'm just curious. He wasn't on the court today. After a short pause and a stare down, silence in the room, Boeheim took one more jab. Your attitude isn't really good either.
Wow.
So automatically assuming that people are looking at him because he's not behaving properly, he just assumes that everybody thinks that and says, your attitude isn't any good, isn't really good either. He followed it with a chuckle before saying Williams had taken a personal day and would be back at practice on Wednesday. Now, he couldn't have just said that.
I know.
But Brent Axe says, pardon me, Jim, but who had the bad attitude here? Sam Corcoran, a student reporter for Citrus TV. So it's their, they have the newspaper, and then Citrus TV is their they do their news. He asked the question, so who was in the wrong? Was it this kid, or is it the 78-year-old professional? You had a player not show up for a game, which is an alarming and rare circumstance. The media was told nothing other than, would you address it post-game? Now, where Brent Axe goes here, I give him credit because it's a gutsy move. Because, he still has to deal with Boeheim as well.
Sure, yeah. He probably has to interview him, right? They do that coach's show or whatever.
So here's what Brent Axe says. Why did the order of the question matter, especially when you didn't address the biggest elephant in the room prior to the floor being open to reporters? Boeheim's exchange with Corcoran was played on ESPN's highly rated Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt and went viral on social media. After tweeting about the incident on Tuesday, I was struck by a flood of messages from all walks of Syracuse life. In a nutshell, it's this. Who does this guy think he is? It should be noted Boeheim's exchange with Corcoran came less than a week after another student reporter for the same outlet, John Eads, asked a question about the team's inability to close games. Boeheim walked out of that press conference instead of answering the question. His arrogance and condescension at pressers is nothing new. Fans, of course, have cheered him on in the past when he challenged media types, speaking ill of the Orange. Timing may offer a key ingredient here. With Boeheim's team struggling and likely heading for a second straight season without an NCAA tournament bid, frustration is spilling over in Orange Nation. But Boeheim, the longest tenured coach in Division I men's basketball and its active wins leader, has endured heartbreaking losses and frustrating seasons. He should have known the question was coming. Those wishing this season is Boeheim's last as head coach are pouncing on the chance to offer this incident as another exhibit that should push him over the edge to retirement.
Okay, I just need to process that for a second in two different regards. I think I don't disagree with Brent. I think he makes a lot of great points there. I don't know that cause for replacement of a head coach or for a coach to finally say, okay, my career's over.
I agree, yeah.
Is his retort to a reporter. I will say, I almost wonder if something happened in a recorded interview, if Citrus is like the school's network or something like that.
Yeah.
Because this is twice in a row, as noted, that he's gone after the younger reporters. I mean, you would just think from a position of a 78-year-old guy who's done this for so long, just to be polite.
He should be able to manipulate the situation pretty well there.
And I don't think he cares that he gets attention for, really is that your real first question, really?
Right.
But and he knows this. He had a personal issue. He couldn't be with the team tonight. We could have used him. It's unfortunate we didn't have him on the floor. Done.
And over with.
Done.
Yeah, you finished the whole thing. Now it does make you wonder what happened. What's the personal issue? How do you miss a big game like that? And it's a big game with the season on the line. Davey?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they really missed Benny on Monday.
I think so, yeah. I mean, would that have made the difference?
That's like me calling in tomorrow and say, I'm not coming in. I need a day off.
Our star player, Davey, calling in and saying, I'm not going to be here.
Uh-huh.
I'm not star player.
No, I think your analogy is perfect.
Thank you.
Spot on, man.
Sixth man of the year over there.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
So-
he's ripped into national reporters before. He had an exchange with Andy Katz.
And what did Andy Katz say? You remember the question?
no, I
don't know
don't.
off the top of my head, but
Well, a lot of times he ends up defending players.
right.
And that is and fans love that.
Yeah.
The problem is this is a student reporter who's asking the obvious question here. The question everybody where was he? Why was he not on the bench? Why did he not play? I think it's fair. And so Boeheim is getting hammered for this. Does it change anything? The guy's been around for a long time. Been through it all. Whatever. I mean, this is his throwing a chair out onto the court, right? His Bobby Knight moment.
Yeah, and I almost thought certainly, I don't know if he threw a chair out onto the floor in today's day and age, he might have been arrested at center court. But I just find it interesting. All the things that he's gone through and been through. But it just makes you think, what's the backstory that he doesn't want to answer that question?
Yeah, well, what it does is, you're right, is it makes everybody, all the rest of us, sit there and think, what happened? Why did he not? Because had he just said he needed a personal day and he wasn't here, we would have moved on, and that would have been the end of it. Yeah, I'm sure somebody would have said, well, was it a death in the family? I mean, what's the personal day? But you're right. I mean, he puts a magnifying glass on the whole thing. Either way, that's what happened, and I think that it was a brave move by the student reporter, and a brave move by Brent Axe too. Smart. His interpretation of the whole thing, I think, was pretty good.
Also, I just have this stray thought here. It almost makes me wonder. That's something somebody would do when. I'm trying to think here. Almost as a distraction.
As a distraction, so you have a player that got. Now we Syracuse has had this issue before, where you have a player that might have gotten into legal trouble, might have gotten into a police matter, and something happened with alcohol or drugs, and Boeheim. But that falls more in line with protecting the player. And is that what Boeheim was doing? And maybe that is what he was doing. I don't know, but it'll be interesting.
So it's like
I think the next press conference will be interesting, and I'll predict for you. Because I watch these post-game press conferences. You got to switch back over to Spectrum, right? To see them. And so after the game plays, you switch back over, and usually about 10 minutes after, they'll go in, and there you have the questioning. And it's always good because you never know who Boeheim is going to get angry with and yell at or get snarky with. But I do think my prediction is when he comes into the next press conference, it'll be smiling sarcastically, like, I'm told that I have to be nice to you people, so go ahead. What's your question?
Well, they're in Boston on Saturday because Boston College, so it's a different media. It's not Syracuse media.
You're right.
There'll probably be a couple Syracuse media people there.
Yeah, so to being snarky with them, we're going to be okay with that.
Right.
And I got to tell you, that's a game that Syracuse should win hands down. But will we win that one? You just don't know.
What did anybody else?
And by the way, I think, Jeff, your point of a distraction. Everybody's talking about Boeheim's misstep in the press conference. No one's talking about the fact that Syracuse has lost 4 or 5.
Exactly, and I wondered if there was a follow-up to that. I'm just curious if the other reporters there, I would assume they would have followed up, but did the Benny Williams issue come up again? Like the next reporter said,
Yeah. I
so
don't
it
think
was
so.
a personal matter, or did everybody just immediately back down?
Yeah, I don't think so. I'll give you an update here this morning on Jimmy Fallon, Fat Cats Comedy Club. Davey, he was talking about it again yesterday. Did you feed him information? Because he had some inside information yesterday.
No, I didn't
He
talk.
changed the time yesterday.
I didn't talk to him
Oh,
yesterday.
yeah.
I talked to him on Tuesday.
So here's the latest update. There were tickets available for the matinee. We made that available Monday. That is now completely sold out, gone, and there's no room to fit anybody else. I'm just telling you. So the 7:00 show, February 17th, and the 9:15 show, February 17th, both sold out. The 5:00 show on the 18th, Saturday, is sold out. The 9:15 show on Saturday, February 18th, is sold out. And there are 5 seats available in the 7 p.m. show on Saturday, February 18th. 5 seats available. And I expect that everything would be sold out by the end of the week. I'm now changing that prediction to the end of the day. Or maybe the end of the show. It's possible. The end of this morning. Jimmy will be in studio here with us on the 17th. And then on the at noon, he'll do his live show from what he calls the legendary Big Talker, WIBX in Utica, New York.
Nice.
That's what he calls it.
So it's 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Hard to believe, right?
I know.
But it is. Anyway, if you're interested and you wanted tickets, there are 5 seats available at the 7 p.m. show on Saturday night. This is most likely your last opportunity to get in there and buy tickets.
I was going to say that's it, right? I mean, you're not adding shows on Sunday now, are you?
I think we've asked enough of him. I was almost thinking I could do like 2 10:30 p.m. shows, but this is it. This will be it. So if you don't get these 5 tickets, you'll have to wait till the next time. If there is a next time, what's happening with Jimmy? I mean, just think about it. He's, for the second year, hosted New Year's Eve on Fox, the Fox News Network.
Mm-hmm.
He is on every show. He's becoming more and more popular. There might come the point where we struggle to get him.
Right. Yeah, that can absolutely happen.
Yeah.
Where
So-
he's outgrown his britches.
Now, I believe he is an amazing, loyal person. So at some point, we'll get him back here, I think. Today is the day after Groundhog Day. Did the groundhog see his shadow, Davey?
No, Bill.
He did not see his shadow.
Today
Jeff,
is Groundhog Day.
What's that?
Today is Groundhog Day.
Are you sure?
Yes, it's February 2nd, Thursday, February 2nd, 2/2/2/23.
All right, I'll start over. Today is Groundhog Day, and will he see his shadow? Is that proper?
Right.
All right, thank
Won't
you,
know
Davey.
until after 7.
After 7 o'clock. It'll be
Right.
sometime between 8 o'clock, even 8 o'clock, right? We'll know. Usually around 7:30.
But there's a chicken that sees his shadow, too, down in Westchester.
There is.
That's hilarious. By the way,
Extremely foul. Very, very much so.
no, you got to hear the name they have. I gotta look. I gotta find the name for it.
So they do that in Westchester County?
Yeah, Ben found the story yesterday and alerted Jeff and I about it.
Okay,
What's
all
the groundhog's name? Punxsutawney?
Yeah.
Cluxatawny. They
Yeah.
got this chicken named Cluxatawny.
There's another groundhog, too, somewhere. There's another city that does it. And they call that one something different. But it's just, listen, this is an old tradition. It's been played out year after year on February 1st. An old tradition that...
February 2nd, of
I'm
course.
sorry, today being the 2nd.
So look, and I know a lot of time is spent on this, and it'll be in just about every news broadcast that you see or hear today. Doesn't matter whether the groundhog sees its shadow or not. Winter is stubborn in central New York. We're getting an extra 6 weeks.
Yeah, I just think that the fact that it's been, I don't know that this is true, but we'll see if it plays out. Just the fact that we had such a mild start to winter. I do fear that we might end up getting hammered here for just a longer, more drawn out winter. I hope we don't, but it's possible.
And as I say that, though, I look ahead to next week, and again, we have
Going to warm up next week.
A wind chill watch in effect overnight tonight, 1 a.m. through Saturday afternoon. Dangerously cold wind chills, 20, 30 below.
It is going to be frigid. If you don't have those New York sash windows, I feel for you.
But
Okay.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 40, 35, 42, 42, 46 next Thursday. I hope those forecasts hold up, if you will. But interesting, I always love to do this when it gets brutally cold. So Saturday at 12 below, and if it feels like 25 below with the wind chill, that's an increase. It'll make you feel like you're in a nice warm climate. It's a 65-degree increase on Monday when the high is 40 degrees.
That's crazy. The governor announced her budget proposal yesterday, and Pacenti is livid. The county executive released this statement. Governor Hochul's budget proposal will absolutely decimate local governments by hijacking $1 billion of federal funds meant to help offset Medicaid costs. This incomprehensible decision to pocket our enhanced federal medical assistance program will cost the taxpayers of Oneida County more than $7.6 million and completely flies in the face of the intention of the Affordable Care Act. I am dismayed by this egregious act that can lead to higher property taxes and drive up the cost of home ownership and rent for our residents. We'll speak with the county executive a little later on. He's livid over this.
Well, he should be. $7.6 million is certainly nothing to sneeze at, and it just makes you wonder if I'm shocked that the state can intervene in that regard. When the federal government allocates money for a purpose, you can't just take it and say we're taking the kids to the park today.
This is I do believe that this is something that happened during Cuomo as well. The same type of thing happened where they do the switcheroo, and they end up taking the money that was set for in the first place, and they push it into the budget to be able to allow them to balance their own budget. So if you recall what happened under Cuomo is he balanced his budget, pushed everything back onto the counties and municipalities, so they were left to, he looked good with a balanced budget, but the counties were left to kind of make up for that. And that is really exactly what happened.
We'll talk with Tony coming up at 7:45 this morning, and I wonder if there's a way to stop this as far as the county executives are concerned, or if the legislature would have to redirect that money. And if that's what it's intended for, no snitching, right?
Yeah.
But I would just call the federal government and you say, do you see what they're doing with your money? That's for us.
I don't want to. There's a story up, a really pretty cool story up on our website about Dick Clark. They're saying it's his childhood home in New Hartford. That's not true. We have the story on our website. Dick Clark's not from here. Dick Clark went to Syracuse University and then came here and worked here. So it would have been his post-college career, I believe, that he was here. Nonetheless, he did live here. Dick Clark did.
Yes, he did.
So don't be deceived by the story on our website. It's almost correct, which is, to me, pretty good. If you can get there in the news world, it's where we should be, right?
Listen, accuracy, it's like horseshoes and hand grenades. With news, you just want to be in the neighborhood.
When I play darts, if I hit the board, that's a bonus. I don't care where it is, but if I've hit cork, to me, that's a bonus. I'll break and we'll come back here.
Yes, can we take a time out, please?
I'm digging deep into my news feed because I barely can open anything right now because we, of course, have no internet here this morning.
And that just changed, by the way.
We're back up.
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right. Wait a minute. Okay, Dick Clark is now dead. Yep, I've come back to 2023. We'll break at 6:50 on Groundhog Day. That is correct, Davey. Groundhog Day, February 2nd on WIBX.
COVID is still spreading. Don't let your guard down. Anyone can get severely ill from COVID. But your risk is greater if you're over 65, if you're obese, have heart or lung disease, diabetes, or another underlying health condition. Lower your risk of serious illness, hospitalization, and death with the most up-to-date COVID vaccines, including the booster. Learn more at ny.gov/booster.
It's time to be the beat and get our tempo back at the 2023 Mohawk Valley Go Red for Women Luncheon. I'm Jen Kita, a survivor and supporter of the American Heart Association. Go Red is helping all women live our best lives. Join me on February 3rd at Hearts Hill Inn for our Festival of Red, lunch, and inspiring program. Thank you to CVS, our national sponsor, and local sponsors Standard Heating, Cooling, and Insulating, MVHS, First Source, Preferred Mutual, Light 98.7, WKTV, The Daily Sentinel, and New York Sash. Head to gored.heart.org to join us.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to goodrx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Stock market traders, the new year is here, and it's time to stop taking chances with your portfolio or retirement funds. Take control of your trading and dominate volatility with the power of artificial intelligence technology from Vantage Point. Text the word DEMO to 813-813 to learn more. You can discover how to predict stock market trends up to 3 days ahead with incredible accuracy. Whether you trade stocks, options, forex, or futures, Vantage Point's patented AI can give you a massive edge in 2023. Text DEMO to 813-813 and learn what you need to stay ahead of markets and find big moves before they happen. Don't wait. Text DEMO to 813-813. Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Past results do not guarantee future performance. By texting, you agree to the terms available at VantagePointSoftware.com and consent to receive calls and texts using automated technology about offers or info by or on behalf of Vantage Point. Your consent is not a condition to purchase and can be revoked at any time. Message and data rates may apply. Text DEMO to 813-813.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley will soon be home to New York State's newest state-of-the-art medical center, the Wynn Hospital. But healthcare transformation is already underway. At MVHS, we're bringing talented, highly skilled healthcare professionals from around the country to our region. In the past year, MVHS has hired more than 60 new doctors and mid-level providers, and recruiting continues throughout the Northeast for nurses, physical therapists, radiology techs, lab positions, and more. Plus, the MVHS Medical Education Division is already bringing more physicians in training and medical students to our area through new residency programs and medical school partnerships. Today, we have 45 residents and 35 medical students doing their training at MVHS. By 2027, there will be more than 200 physician learners at the Wynn Hospital and other MVHS campuses. Our focus is on caring for our community with the best and brightest teams of caregivers, now and in the future. Mohawk Valley Health System. This is for you.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Because we don't. Yesterday we learned that Tom Brady. I love the story. We break the story in the 8 o'clock hour, and every news feed, the top story is that Tom Brady is retiring. I feel like this is all deja vu. Didn't we do this last year? Davey, New York Post. What's their headline say? We'll miss you, Tommy.
What's on the bottom? I can't see all the way down.
Oh, it just says, "We will miss you, Tommy. Brady retires for good." And then they have all the pictures of all him in the back of the New York Post, like winning the Super Bowls. They got one.
Right.
Wow.
Tom baby.
Enough is enough. Please.
That's quite mild for the Post.
I would think, yeah.
They're congratulating him. They're not chastising.
What's the front page say? That's news related, right?
It says
some Hunter Biden
finally admits laptop full of dirty deals and deeds in his quote, "It's mine."
It's mine. Okay. Thank you, Davey. Groundhog Day today, right? Yeah.
Right. Today's Groundhog Day.
Today is. Thank you.
That's such a good point.
Tom Brady. Tom Brady has retired at age 45. We covered this yesterday, but here are some things. 23, some things you might not know. Are you ready? Can I throw some things at you?
Yeah. Okay.
23 NFL seasons. He played for 23 years. I believe 23 years too long, as far as a Bills fan would think about it. 7 Super Bowl victories. 5 Super Bowl MVP awards. 1,000 penalties that should not have been called.
Oh, I know.
Right? I mean, man, did the NFL protect him?
So many rules designed to protect him. And
Yeah.
look, it should, right? I mean, to somebody, you never want your stars to be missing time because of injury, But
Ryan Nobles brought this up yesterday. Brady's next stop will likely be the Fox NFL broadcast booth. Makes many wonder what will happen with Greg Olson, who did a bang-up job in the booth while knowing this day was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Ryan said, could it happen by the Super Bowl?
He's making $10 million a year. When he comes to number 2, he's going to make $3 million. Sorry to interrupt.
Olsen. That's
Sorry
Olsen,
to interrupt you.
That's all right, Davey. I appreciate that.
Yep.
The Brady decision also starts the offseason quarterback merry-go-round with the futures of Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, the Raiders, the Buccaneers having serious question marks, especially with Brady, the Buccaneers, although I think that was the question already put in place, right? I mean, I don't think anybody thought Brady was coming back to Tampa Bay.
Correct.
Reports say that Brady batted around 2 decisions for months, retiring or returning to the Buccaneers. Supposedly, Vegas and Miami were never in the cards for him. Brady ends his career with 89,214 passing yards, 649 touchdown passes, and has won the league's MVP award 3 times. And by the way, there's a movie that is somewhat about him. Is he in the movie? 80 for Brady. And what is it, Davey? Is that like a bunch of 80-year-old women that are hot for Brady?
Right.
Yeah, sure.
We'll have to see what Willie says about it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hint.
We'll speak with Willie tomorrow morning. Let's see what he thinks. We'll see what he thinks. Best options for replacing Tom Brady. What do you think? Some say Daniel Jones is in the mix.
I'd love that.
Yeah.
I really would.
Anthony Richardson, Derek Carr, Jacoby Brissett, who's a free agent, Garoppolo, who's a free agent, and Baker Mayfield, who could come through free agency as well. You want some interesting bets for the Super Bowl?
Yes.
You're looking to cash in on some specials.
Yes.
What do they call these?
Props.
These prop bets. Any non-quarterback to have 1+ pass touchdown. That'll pay $2,200. A $100 bet would pay you $2,200.
Okay.
Any offensive lineman to score, plus receiving a touchdown, plus $3,500. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't like
Any
that one.
player having a 55-yard plus reception, that's plus $250. Either team to kick a game-winning walk-off field goal at the end of regulation. Now, that's possible.
That's very possible.
In this game, that could be possible.
So many games on that way.
Plus 750. Although I think this Super Bowl, bear with me, I think this Super Bowl is going to be anticlimactic by the second half. I feel like it's going to be one of those. And Nagel will end up happy. Any quarterback to have 1+ touchdown reception, $4,000. Plus $4,000. So a $100 bet would pay you $4,000. These are all long shots, which is why they pay so much, right?
Absolutely.
Got a break. We go to 7 o'clock. This is the groundhog time, right? The alarm goes off. WIBX, Utica, Rome.
A lot of Texas is frozen. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. On the morning, we get a forecast from a groundhog hoping for an early spring. An ice storm has glazed over much of Texas, blamed for 8 deaths. It's also frigid for those who've lost heat. Nearly 400,000 power outages. Almost 700 flights canceled, mostly to and from Dallas and Austin. And the freezing stretches up to Memphis.
Thick chunks of ice like this coating the roadways and covering cars all across the city.
Fox Weather's Nicole Valdez is in Memphis.
This is very thick, and it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of strength to try to break through and scrape this off the many cars here.
Also in Memphis, Tyree Nichols' funeral.
I see the world showing him love and fighting for his justice.
That's his sister, Kayana.
But all I want is my baby brother back.
He died 3 weeks ago after a police beating, leading to renewed calls for federal policing reform.
Every last one of them on that video need to be held accountable. whether they acted or whether they failed to act.
Family attorney Ben Crum. 5 fired officers are charged with murder, 2 others relieved of their duties. Rescue crews are digging through an apartment building in eastern Ukraine, hit by a Russian missile, looking for more victims. At least 3 people are dead, 21 wounded. And amid all the help the U.S. is giving Ukraine to fend off Russia's invasion, we're expanding our military presence in the Philippines, with 4 more military bases opening there for American troops.
The American presence in the country has 2 objectives: to help Filipino soldiers combat a decades-long Muslim insurgency, and now, crucially, to deter China's ambitions regarding Taiwan to the north and right across the South China Sea.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. 5.5 years in prison. That's a sentence another Capitol rioter got yesterday from a judge who called Daniel Caldwell an insurrectionist. Caldwell tearfully apologized to the police officers he pepper sprayed. America's listening to Fox News.
David in Pennsylvania writes in to tell us about his experience with Relief Factor. I tried Relief Factor for hip pain and was surprised that it also helped relieve my shoulder and foot discomfort. After taking it for a month, I stopped, and sure enough, the pain returned. So I started taking Relief Factor again, and within a week, the pain was relieved. I'm now taking Relief Factor daily. Well, thank you, David. You know, I've heard your story before, people stopping and then starting again because it works. As you all know, I had trouble with aches and pains, and climbing steps was brutal. Your first step to living the life you love, free from aches and pains, could just be to order the 3-week Quick Start for the highly discounted price of $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Try it for yourself and see what all these people are talking about. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's 800-4RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor.
Good morning. We have partly cloudy skies, 16 degrees. WIBX News Time is 7:03. We have a wind chill watch taking effect overnight tonight, 1 a.m. Friday through 1 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. We'll take until noon on Saturday. We'll take a closer look at that forecast coming up in just a few minutes, but we could see dangerously cold wind chills at 25 or 30 below zero. An official working as an assessor in a Herkimer County town facing a felony charge amid allegations that he was apparently spying on other town employees. New York State Police have charged Justin Masters with eavesdropping. That's a Class E felony. He's the Town of Webb assessor, a position he's held for more than 4 years. The 47-year-old accused of using a hidden camera to record town employees in their office without their knowledge or consent. Leon Etienne and his Magic Rocks Illusion Show coming to the Turning Stone Resort and Casino on Saturday in the showroom. 2 shows. Etienne will bring his large show to the Turning Stone featuring many of his big stage illusions, including the ones that he's traveled to with larger venues and televised events around the world. His show is, of course, described as jaw-dropping. If you're interested in tickets, just reach out to the box office at Turning Stone. An ex-girlfriend of a New York Mets outfielder, Khalil Lee, alleging an assault took place during a period when he played for the Syracuse AAA Mets. The victim says she and Khalil Lee met while they were both living in New York City. Lee had recently received a call up to the big leagues in May of 2021. He has been charged in connection with the incident. He's currently part of the Mets' 40-man roster. Major League Baseball has been notified of the charge as well. The allegation is that she was kicked, pulled, and choked by Lee. You can read more on that story on our website at WIBX950.com. Officials with Mohawk Valley Health System preparing for the big move. The countdown now reduced from years to months. Progress continues on construction of the new Wynn Hospital and remains on track to open in October of this year. Bob Schofield from MVHS says they've hired a company called Healthcare Relocations. It is a worldwide firm that focuses on the relocation of equipment, supplies, and moving patients. And that focus will be moving patients from 2 campuses to the new Wynn Hospital in downtown Utica. That's not expected to happen, of course, for several more months when the hospital is set to open. But he did say it was a one-day event that will take approximately 12 to 15 hours. More on the process of relocating to the Wynn Hospital downtown, also on our website at WIBX950.com. And one more, Utica police making an arrest in connection with a shooting incident in August of last year. An Oneida County grand jury has indicted 2 individuals in connection with that shooting. Shaquille Hendricks of Utica, a 30-year-old, and Willie Linder, age 36, of Utica. Each is charged with assault in the first degree, attempted assault in the first degree, and Hendricks faces an additional charge of criminal possession of a weapon. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast, again, has a wind chill warning in effect from 7 a.m. tomorrow until noon on Saturday. At times, dangerously cold wind chills in our area. Mostly sunny skies today with a high reaching 34 degrees. Overnight tonight, snow showers mainly before 1 a.m., a low of 2 below, but the wind chill will make it feel as cold as 15 below. Chance of snow showers for your Friday, mainly in the afternoon. Friday's high, just 1 degree. Wind chill values as low as 25 below tomorrow. Friday night, chance of snow showers. Again, mostly cloudy, a low around 12 below, but with the wind chill, it will feel like 30 below. Saturday, mostly cloudy, a high of 16. And then we go the other way on Sunday, cloudy skies with a high up near 40. Right now, partly cloudy skies, 16 degrees. WIBX news time is 7:07. And I'm just realizing you got.
I'm just going to give you what I'm going to give you, Jeff. And you're going to have to take it whether you like it or not. Last night, Utica Comets. Listen, the NHL is down for the All-Star break. The NFL, of course, we're awaiting the Super Bowl. And I guess I don't have any NBA scores for you. Sorry.
That's okay.
But I can tell you the Comets lose last night in a shootout, 4-3. They were up 1-0. Quickly, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Syracuse scored 3 goals. 1, 2, 3, bing, bang, bong.
What?
Yeah, you turned around and you couldn't even believe it. But then, with the goalie pulled and just seconds remaining, the Comets scored and tied the game up, sending it into overtime. The overtime period went and left without a score, and then began the shootout. And the Comets ended up losing on the shootout.
I mentioned to Smitty this morning, it was funny because it was a 1-0 game for, the first 2 periods, essentially, and a little bit of the third. And then there was 5 goals in the third.
It was crazy, yeah.
And then in the shootout came, out of 10 attempts, only 3 got past the goalies.
So
what?
And really, what a great job by the goalies throughout the game, right? I mean, it was a very defensive match, and then all of a sudden they're like, you know what? Let's give up some goals. So I just want to give you a little brief update of what's going on here this weekend. And Utica University's men's hockey team will be playing their final. This will be their final homestand, right?
For the regular season.
For the regular season. I mean, what happens after that remains to be seen. But here's where we are with this. The Pioneers will be at home on Friday night to play at home against King's College. That is a 7 p.m. game. If you like hockey, you got a lot going on this weekend. Davey, open those eyes, man. So 7 p.m. Friday night, the Pioneers play their last regular season Friday night game at 7 p.m., the Adirondack Bank Center. Then, by the way, the Comets will be on the road Friday night. Then Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m., the Pioneers will host King's College at Adirondack Bank Center. That'll be at 2 p.m. And then there's a nightcap because the Utica Comets will return home to play the Providence Bruins at 7 p.m. at home. So 3 games this weekend if you want to get some hockey action in, and then everything going on at the Nexus Center as well. And Utica College, Utica University's women as well. So there's a lot happening. There you have it. That's all I have for you, though. Otherwise, things are quiet in the sports world.
I get that little depression, after the Super Bowl ends because I don't know what to do on the.
Well, there's the part A of that, and that is that your team is now out and sitting home.
Again, I expect.
And then I don't know. I sometimes find that I get a little depressed before I become optimistic at this time of year for baseball season. A little bit knowing that, oh, great, we're going to start again. I'm going to get enthusiastic, and we're going to blow it again. But then I'm thinking, well, maybe we can pull this thing out. I don't know. Maybe. Davey, what do you think?
Watch NASCAR.
Okay, there you go. 7-Eleven. By the way, I am here to announce that Joe and Rob, both, and someone else, I believe Jim. So Joe, Rob, and Jim, between 6:45 when I announced it and 7 a.m. last hour, purchased up the remaining Jimmy Fallon tickets. All 5 shows are sold out. It is a complete sellout weekend. It's the first time this has ever happened.
Don't let Jimmy know. He's going to think he's some big timer or something. It's going to go right to his head.
It's funny because the story, when you listen to Jimmy in the noon till 3 on WIBX, when you listen to him each day, he always gives the comedy update. And that is where he's performing throughout the country. And he's all over the place. Everyone is the same. What we're doing right now is nothing new. He's... Well, out in Oskalooka, we're adding another show. They've added another show. We've sold out 4 shows. We're adding another show. We may actually be the lead in this, selling out 5 shows. It's a big deal. But all 5 shows have sold out. Jimmy Fallon, congratulations on those who've gotten tickets. And there might be one more opportunity.
Uh-oh.
There might be one more opportunity
You never
coming
stop,
up.
man.
Listen,
You never do
you
it.
gotta.
You never go, okay, all right, it's good
you
enough.
can't just let it go. I mean, all I'm saying is there might be one more opportunity coming up, and we might be mentioning it tomorrow morning.
2 weeks from tomorrow, he will be in town, certainly doing the Keeler in the Morning show, doing his national show live from here, and then a busy, fun, hilarious weekend with Jimmy Fallon. I can't wait.
Let me break at 7:12. By the way, the app still down this morning. We're working on it, and we'll get that back up. I believe they fixed the internet for us. So we're back from 1985 to 2020. We're not quite at 2023 yet, but we will be at some point. They tell us. They're promising.
Listen, 1985 technology is newer than that 84 shopping cart you were racing on Genesee Street.
That is a very good point. Got a break. Hold on tight. 7:13 at WIBX.
Adirondack Home Furniture's Flex Steel Big Game Sale is going on now, but only for a limited time. Hurry in for discounts up to 15% off select sofas, recliners, occasional pieces, and leather furniture. With hundreds of designer fabrics to choose from, your new piece is guaranteed to have the look you want. Stop dreaming and start creating the home of your dreams with quality, long-lasting Flex Steel furniture from Adirondack Home Furniture. Beauty and comfort is made to last with Flex Steel's exclusive lifetime warranty blue steel spring seating. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and save up to 15% during their big game sale. Visit their Flex Steel gallery for the best selection of Flex Steel furniture on sale. The best value and top quality furniture for your home is at Adirondack Home Furniture. You don't want to miss out on the Flex Steel big game sale at Adirondack Home Furniture. Hurry in, sale ends soon. Located at the former Riverside Mall, Horatio Street, Utica.
We invest in Herkimer and Oneida counties.
We work with the community to make things better for old and young alike.
Today, tomorrow, and in the years to come.
Every day, we put the community's long-term savings to work.
Who are we?
We are the Community Foundation of Herkimer and Oneida counties.
FoundationHOC.org.
We're your community foundation.
Working to build a vibrant region.
Opportunity for all.
Hi, I'm Lynn from Warner Sales and Service. Winter in central New York can be pretty unpredictable. Snow, freezing temperatures, or hazardous road conditions. You never know what to expect. One thing you can count on, though, is that Warner Sales and Service is here to help you get through the toughest part of the year. That's why we sell and service Bobcat equipment. It's the toughest and most trusted equipment on the market. We pride ourselves on the quality of our product and, most importantly, the quality of our service. It's our job to keep your businesses up and running, and we strive to go above and beyond for each and every one of our customers. You never know what to expect during winter, but you can always depend on us at Warner Sales and Service. Stop by and see us just off Route 365 in Rome. We are Warner Sales and Service, where quality still counts.
Building relationships, building trust. Warner Sales and Service. Warner's, where quality still counts. At Warner's.
Milk, eggs, $42. Ma'am?
You okay?
Need bucks? With Jackson Hewitt, don't wait weeks for the IRS to send your tax refund. Come in now for up to $3,500 with a no-interest, no-fee refund advance loan when you file your taxes. That's up to $3,500 today. Don't let high prices get you down. When every dollar matters, it matters who does your taxes. So get to Jackson Hewitt today. For eligible clients, loans by Republic Bank and Trust Company. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
I just remember reading those letters, and I'm like, oh my God. What am I going to do?
Dana called Tax Relief Solutions for a free tax help consultation.
It was like the first thing they did was, everything's going to be okay.
Tax Relief Solutions can help stop wage garnishments, remove liens from your property, and settle your debt with the IRS for much less than you owe.
I owed $31,000 and change, and the offer in compromise was about 10% of the total that I owed. We have accepted the offer. I can't even explain the sense of relief that I have now.
Don't face the IRS alone. Let Tax Relief Solutions fight for you. Find out all the IRS relief programs available in the first free call. 800-200-7174. That's 800-200-7174.
It should be a company that everybody knows about.
The call is free. The information is free. You could save thousands. Call 800-200-7174. 800-200-7174.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Okay, all right. I have some comments here this morning. This is off the YouTube feed this morning, which is up and running. And by the way, it's amazing technology, isn't it? I mean, we're able to keep the YouTube feed. If you were around for our Christmas show, everything went down. We lost internet here in the studio. We lost everything, right, Davey? Right, and actually lost Jeff. Jeff was at home sick with COVID.
Yes.
For the Christmas show this year.
Night.
Yeah, what a day, right? Anyway, we used our YouTube feed. Davey picked it up on his iPhone, put it into the board here, and we were able to broadcast from the Stanley for our Christmas show. All because of the YouTube feed. Not bad. I mean, technology, it's incredible. This one time I remember I was much younger. I had much more hair.
Mm-hmm.
We were doing a broadcast of the West Canada Valley Indians. They were playing, I believe, I don't even know who, but I know it was at West Canada. And we were doing a baseball game. And in those days, you'd call the telephone company, and they'd set up a line. And it was a really good broadcast line. You couldn't dial off it, but it would be like a direct feed from the field to the radio station.
Nice.
It was incredible. I don't think you even ever experienced it.
I don't think I did. No.
They were direct lines, basically. And so when you broadcast, you were broadcasting in full quality. It was when you did a live broadcast like that, you couldn't tell. It was studio quality. Anyway, the line was dead. So we had sold out, the sales staff had sold out the game. And I had this brilliant idea. We can recreate it.
No.
We can recreate the game, which is what we did. Now, at the time, I was thinking how wonderful that was. But I'll bet it was awful. I'll bet it was terrible. And I don't think there's a tape left around to prove it, but I'll bet it was terrible.
That's too bad. You know, the possibilities you talk about
So
technology.
you literally looked at the scorebook and called the game. That was awful. So it's amazing where technology has taken us. And yet we still have all the problems of the world today. Hard to believe. Bill is on line 4. Hello, Bill. Good morning. Are you there, Bill? Hi, Bill.
I just want to say everybody's excited about Jimmy coming in a couple of weeks. But these next couple of weeks of shows are going to be fantastic. We got Kevin Lee.
And by the way, Bill does up close magic at Fat Cats Comedy Club. He'll walk around as people are waiting for the show to start, and it's quite impressive. You wow a lot of people, Bill.
Thank you, Bill. But I just wanted to say to Kevin Lee and Karen next week, I mean, these shows coming up, they're all off the hook, really.
Next week, Karen Rontowski, it'll be a Valentine's. She's doing a psychic comedy show, which is perfect if you want to do something for the very special person in your life on Valentine's weekend. The psychic Valentine's comedy show. That'll be next week. Kevin Lee will be in studio tomorrow morning. Kevin is hilarious, and then after that, it'll be Jimmy. So,
yeah, I'm so excited about Kevin coming. I think it's going to be one of the best shows of the year this week. So,
yeah, I agree. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too, Wayne.
All right.
So, and I remember Kevin Lee because he was up with us during Radiothon, I think 2 years ago. That weekend, I remember because Smitty was here, I had picked him up and then brought him back afterward. So
that is true. Yeah.
He's really funny.
Funny guy. He'll be in studio tomorrow morning. Looking forward to that. Some comments here this morning on people on the app and all of that. Jeff says Puxatawny Phil. They've already started their fireworks in Pennsylvania. Then there's a parade followed by the ceremony just after 8 a.m. and we'll find out the stupidity of the shadow.
John in Bridgewater. So today, John, I can't read that. Big Honey, I believe the groundhog is.
Now you got me thinking.
I believe the groundhog is just as accurate as the Farmer's Almanac. Maybe.
I agree 100%. John says, I like the live stream and the ability to rewind or fast forward through commercials or whatever if I'm catching up. Yep, pretty cool. Just like a podcast. I can treat it like a podcast. And by the way, the feed absolutely by 9 a.m. when we shut down the broadcast, the feed automatically archives, and you can go back after the show if you had to. Rochester Hardwood Floors. I can't get the app to work on my phone, but my husband can on his. I don't know the answer to that, but you should call in and we'd find a way to walk you through it. I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either.
Yeah. Anyway, hi, everybody. Puxatawny Phil, I got that. No internet on your end. That would explain why the app and internet listen live are not working this morning. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And Paula M., good morning. So those are all comments off YouTube. Coming up, we'll do our free money question of the day. Also, we'll do the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. We'll get to that coming up in just a second. Some other things going on in the news here this morning that are worth getting into. We mentioned the Comets with a big, well, they pulled off a point, but unfortunately lost to Syracuse last night. How about this story? A 6-year-old out of Michigan ordered $1,000 worth of food from Grubhub when playing with his dad's phone.
Ooh.
And you have to worry about this. If you have stuff set up on your phone, which would automatically make a purchase, your kid is playing around with the phone, all of a sudden you can get some charges.
Absolutely. My son is now 7, but he'll snag my phone. He kind of uses my phone. There's an app where if you have a smart TV and your remote, the remote I have is a piece of junk, so you can run it off your phone. And he'll just grab my phone and start, he knows all my passwords and everything. And I'll no, Dad, I got it. I know your password. I got it. And then he'll just get in there and start. I mean, there's nothing.
Well, you're not buying anything, right?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. In this case, they had it all set up with an automatic payment. You didn't need to put in a password to make the payment. and ordered $1,000 worth of food. Here's Keith Stonehouse. Now, I don't know that this is going to play because apparently internet is still down. But here is the guy talking about, his name is Keith, talking about what their son Mason accidentally did with a $1,000 purchase.
It's piles and bags of food, and they're dropping them off at the door, so I'm not communicating with the drivers. And I said, what is going on? Why are you bringing me food? He said, I don't know. You ordered from the shawarma place. He said, no. Oh. So I think I left the app open, and he saw that when he was playing with my phone and just started going to town. He ordered multiple orders, chili cheese fries, the chicken pita wraps. He ordered multiple orders of that, multiple orders of ice cream, pizza.
You know, it's funny that, and I know you're in the, and it's funny how you're laughing and I'm like rolling my eyes. And the reason is because my kids are all grown up. We've been through all of this. And the fact that he's amused and he's talking about it, you're amused by it. You have a kid that age. You haven't lived the life. Once you have 3 kids and they're all grown up and gone off to college and working, you'll look at it much differently. You'll be like, okay, big deal. We want to hear what my kid did? He had 600 kids in our backyard with a beer party. Okay, we were away. The cops came.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody's got their own story, and you're rolling your eyes.
And I would imagine it gets worse. Obviously, the kid didn't know what he or she was doing, and it was somewhat accidental. At the same time, as they get older, they know what they're doing, and they continue to order things on your card.
That is the difference. You're right. That's a very good point. What else? This, interestingly, Apple is getting some heat after urging people to honor Black history by exercising and closing their move rings on the Apple Watch. I don't really get that. Here's Tamika Turner talking about the whole thing and calling the company out on this. Here we go.
Good morning to everyone, except for Apple, which pushed me this notification this morning. It says, let's come together to honor Black history. Earn this Unity Award by closing your move ring for 7 days in a row during February. What? I just think it's unbelievable and unacceptable that, especially in the wake of Tyree Nichols' murder, the one thing that Apple has to say about honoring Black people and Black history is use our product, maybe lose a little weight. I mean, come on.
Okay, I can't stand that woman just by hearing her 10-minute or 20-second clip.
Is it the way she inflects upward at the end of every sentence?
Oh, my Lord.
I just think it's kind of offensive, and I'm not even necessarily disagreeing with her point. I think that is
listen,
exploitation.
They're trying to find a way to, and I'm not defending Apple by any means here, but I think they're just simply they have a product, and they're trying to find a way to honor Black History Month by utilizing the product. People who are doing it are already paying attention to that. They've already activated that portion. So it's not like they're out advertising to bring people in to use the product. It's just like, hey, here's a reminder. It's Black History Month. I don't think it's as bad as she claims, but you know, she's looking for hits and likes on TikTok.
And unfortunately, businesses try to do this all the time. I mean,
I think that happens all the time.
You know, celebrate Black History Month with this can of cola and Martin Luther King Jr.'s image on the side of the can.
Yes. Haven't bought Bun Buns in a while?
Time.
Well, buy them now for Black History Month. We've taken off 10 cents. There's a new dating hack for single women looking for men. It's called Home Depot. Holly Allen explaining that going to Home Depot early on weekdays allows you to be the only lady in the room.
Turns out, if you're looking for love, all you need to do is go to Home Depot at 8:30 in the morning on a Wednesday. They're there. Literally everywhere. I am the only woman in that entire store. So ladies, if you're struggling to find love, grab yourself a cup of coffee, throw on some mascara, and head to Home Depot at 8:30 on a Wednesday.
8:30 on a Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, so there you go. The Kansas City Chiefs surprised a family of Ukrainian refugees with free tickets to go to the Super Bowl. Here is Kirill Yamemenko. I believe that must be the Ukrainian, talking about fleeing Russia with his family. And then the moment they were surprised by the Chiefs organization now remember, they don't have a place to live, but they're going to the Super Bowl.
It was hard for me, but I wanted my family to be in safe.
These are some tickets to the Super Bowl here in a couple of weeks, where hopefully you will have a chance to cheer on the Chiefs.
Yeah. And by the way, that hot dog you're going to want to buy your kid is going to be $12.
Yeah. I think what they should do is give them a 4-pack of tickets, tell them they can go auction them off online, and then go find a nice place to live.
Maybe that's what they should do, right? They'd have a...
Look, I know it's, again, this is a well-intentioned thing, but, I mean, I'm trying to think of an example. Look, if for some reason I became a refugee and I had to go to another a country, and I'm struggling with the name of the sport. It looks like baseball. They do the crow hop. It's not cricket. That's a dart game. What's the game where they got the ball, they got the paddle, they were like the
that might be cricket.
Cricket.
Yeah. Oh, it is cricket. Yeah.
There's a version of darts that is cricket as well, but cricket is a game. Yeah.
If I had to leave this country and relocate because we were in some kind of a war, and I went over there and I didn't have my family and I didn't have a place to live and everything's up in flux, I wouldn't be like, wow, you gave me 2 tickets to a cricket game?
Yeah.
Wow, you just made my whole day, man.
I do think we make really poor decisions in the marketing conference room, the marketing department conference room in America sometimes. And, everybody's all on to something, and you're all, well, this is a great way to celebrate this event. And I don't think they think it through.
Correct.
And I think that's probably an example. Yesterday, the governor announced her budget proposal, and Marianne Buttonshon is maybe on this line. Hi, Marianne. Is that you?
Yes, it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we're going right in. We're live. And tell me your thoughts. I know Pacenti, the county executive, extremely critical of on a couple of elements of the governor's proposal. What's your take?
Yeah, so, I mean, that's very concerning, the Medicaid FPAP. I mean, you have to, again, these are individuals that are in need of health care, and the counties obviously are the ones that are providing the funding in so many ways, the programming in so many ways, and it appears, again, an unfunded mandate. My concerns, obviously, if we start with that, is, yes, we have housing crises, and they're across the state of New York, but we have to lean on our small landlords to help us. And they're the ones that, during the pandemic, were not treated as so deserved. So we need to work with them. Yes, we could build new housing, and we all know that could be 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years down the line. But more importantly is right now, with the housing concerns we have, our answer is to go to our small landlords and ask them what they need to make them whole so that they can continue to provide that housing for so many individuals. Our schools we're seeing is, with many discussions, is that this year is going to be a year that hopefully they can continue to provide what they need. But we have to look long-term again. We have to look as we move down in time to determine what is going to happen. We know they have a tax cap that they always have to struggle with. Annually, they also have a concern in regards to the funding that they would like to hold and use for the future, and they can't. So even if they're okay now, they have to look at strategically out 3-5 years.
Yeah,
I'm very concerned and supportive of child care. As what we have seen is not only having ideal child care for our children, as well as it provides the opportunity for our family members to be able to work. So it is a crucial part we have found within economic development. So to determine how to make sure that works. But again, we have to start from the root of the problem, which is who is going to be working at the child care system.
Yeah, okay.
We have legislation that comes forward that we want to make sure that those background checks are, there's no problems with them. We want to make sure that we're providing the education and training so that individuals are within these various careers so that they can continue to grow these programs. So it's great the money's there, but let's make sure we have the people there to be able to provide what is needed.
Yeah.
So can I ask you? I'm sorry, Mary. When it gets to obviously the green energy and renewable and energy affordability is the term that gets thrown around a lot. I know that's been a focus of the governors. There's a lot of controversy over what's going to be allowed in the state in 10 or 15 years as far as how do you heat your home, et cetera. I saw that there was a ton of money directed toward what was labeled energy affordability. What is investing in energy affordability? And if we keep going down this, we're not going to use fossil fuels anymore, doesn't that just spike the price of our energy prices?
Yes, and there was a lot of money. It's actually $5.5 billion.
Yes.
That Jeff, so you're 100% correct. And I know we always have this struggle that it is so important, and we all care about our environment. I mean, you have a son, you care about his future.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same token, there has to be a balance that it works. And for example, the other night we were with the school board members, and they brought up the electrified school buses way more than a bus that is built to utilize diesel.
Sure.
So it's now it affects the infrastructure of our highways. So I was with the commissioner of DOT the other night, and I explained to her, I said, are you aware? I mean, even a personal truck that someone might buy weighs more, which affects insurance rates, which affects so many other things. And I said, are you aware of this? Do you feel that our bridges can handle this weight that's coming forward? So that, again, is shall we say, it's not predictable, but it was something that probably wasn't discussed at the time of moving forward. So this is a reason to kind of slow down a little, dial it back to have those conversations. Not having our, shall we say, eggs in one basket. I mean, the solar incentives across the state of New York, it just doesn't make any sense. I have a meeting today in the concern in regards to how much electricity can actually be produced via solar, and there is different decisions, whether it's 19%, whether it's 33%, but still, even if it is 33%, I go back to being an educator. I don't remember handing a paper back to someone and saying, "Hey, you got a 33. You're doing great."
Right.
Exactly.
Well, you didn't know my parents. It was like, well, Billy, that's not bad. I mean, let's next time get to a 50 if we could. Differently.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know your wife might agree with me a little bit more.
You may be right. Yes. Anything else that stands out for you that is problematic with the governor's proposal?
Well, just again, as you know, we're going to spend the next month and a half trying to dig down to get clarity.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, we have issues with public safety, and they're very serious issues. Yes, we have issues with individuals that have needs for mental health.
Yep.
But at the same, how is it going to be done? I mean, I am meeting again with another school today concerning mental health within their school district, and how, if individuals come forward to work within the school to help the children, how do we make sure they get the help? And that's a real great question one of the superintendents brought to me is, I want to make sure that when we know someone needs help, we can get it for them.
Right.
And if we've got to take a look at, more importantly, what needs to be done. Healthcare, again, very important issue, whether it's safe staffing, talking about preventive health, and ensuring that Medicaid is expanded for preventive health, but then telling our county executives that the FMAP is going to be adjusted, and it's clearly going to hurt you in a negative manner. So it's the contradictions that are concerning to me that we have to continue to work on.
Yeah, okay.
And that's something that I will do. The best part is that I hear from many individuals within the community that have a lot of expertise that bring some wonderful ideas forward.
Right. Good stuff. Let's see what we'll speak with the county executive coming up in a second. I know the Medicaid issue is a real problem for for him and for you as well. So, Marianne, we appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll work on getting that grade up for you.
All right,
so.
we're going to get up to a 50. We're going to try. Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, Marianne Buttonshaw. All right, let's, coming up, we'll do our free money question of the day. Also, County Executive Anthony Pacini. Let me go to Sahid Karsik with the United City Police. Sahid, good morning. And it's our Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers Wanted Person of the Week. We do this each week, and it has been quite successful. Crime Stoppers, a great organization where you can leave tips for police, and all of it is done 100% anonymously. Sahid, good morning. What do we have this morning?
Hey, Bill. Good morning. Today we have an individual by the name of Heather, middle initial A, last name Brower. She's a white female, 39 years of age. She's about 5 feet 1 inches tall. She weighs approximately 140 pounds. She has brown hair, blue eyes, and currently our office holds a warrant for a violation of probation for the charge of petty larceny.
Okay. What is this? What is it in regards to? Do you have any idea on that?
So yeah, she initially she was charged with a felony and through court proceedings. She was given she pled guilty to the charge of a misdemeanor and given probation. Currently, she has absconded from probation, and therefore that's why a warrant was issued.
Got it. Okay, we'll have the full story up on our website, of course, with details on reaching out to Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers. Sahid, great way to do this. It's all done anonymously, and in the end, there could be a reward.
Absolutely, Bill.
All right. Thank you so much. Investigator Sahid Karsik with the United County Sheriff's Department. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day. We'll do our free money question of the day coming up. Let's make it caller number what here this morning, Davey?
Caller 5.
Caller 5. You seem indecisive. You know why? It's been an indecisive morning around here.
Yeah.
Internet up and down.
And it's all shadow.
Well, and they. What does that mean, by the way, if he sees his shadow?
6 more weeks of winter.
Okay. Well, you knew it was coming, right? I mean, it is February.
Couldn't somebody go stand with a flashlight next to that little critter?
You can, Jeff. That'd be you. Jeff's seen the shadow.
I must say that I feel like 6 weeks, we're going to be lucky if it's 6 weeks left of hard winter.
I agree.
We'll be lucky. All right, let's do caller number 5. Your chance to win from the Hobica Law Firm, Joseph and Andrew Hobica, and it's worth $100 in cash plus some other stuff we'll squeeze in there. Your chance to win right now on WIBX.
Are you ready to make the most important decision for your child's future? Some are easy, some are not. Some make all the difference, like choosing Notre Dame schools. Offering grades pre-K through 12, your child will be ready to learn and thrive in a challenging atmosphere surrounded by great teachers and the most current technology. Notre Dame offers small class sizes, high academic standards, and spiritual fulfillment. At Notre Dame, we foster an environment of diversity and community. Students feel supported and more confident in achieving their goals. Our students learn from each other and are challenged to grow and develop their innate talents. Notre Dame is faith-based, but everyone is welcome. If you have higher expectations for your child, Notre Dame offers a higher level experience. If you're ready to launch your child's future into the most successful career path and build the next generation of leaders, call today for a tour or visit NotreDameUtica.org. Notre Dame schools, ready to learn, destined to lead.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Advantage Gold is not an investment advisor or a tax advisor. Consult with your financial advisor before investing.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
I wasn't feeling like myself, and I wasn't sure why. I couldn't sleep. My joints and muscles hurt, mood swings, and sometimes even hot flashes.
Estrogen decline can begin for women as early as 40 years old and can trigger the symptoms we commonly associate with menopause. These symptoms can be gradual at first and can become really disruptive to daily life.
I wanted to find a hormone-free solution to help relieve my symptoms. My doctor told me to try Equell.
Equell is the only supplement made with S-Equol, a naturally derived plant-based ingredient that relieves symptoms of estrogen decline.
With Equell, I feel like myself again.
Discover safe relief for symptoms of estrogen decline with Equell. You can try Equell risk-free for 90 days with Equell's 90-day money-back guarantee. For more information and to get 20% off your first order, go to equell.com/news. That's EQUELLE.com/news for 20% off. equell.com/news.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Hey, good morning. It's 7:46. Let's start with our free money question of the day from the Hobeika Law Firm. Joseph and Andrew Hobeika at 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. If you have a legal issue, it's the Hobeika Law Firm. Chris is on the line ready to take a shot here this morning at February Cash. Hello, Chris. Good morning.
Morning, Bill.
You ready to, where are you calling from, by the way? Oh, Cassville.
I'm calling from Cassville.
Cassville, New York. All right. Here we go with your question. This is completely doable here, and it's in the news. Here is your question. Tom Brady has two well-known nicknames. One is Tom Terrific. What's the other one? Ready, go.
California Cool.
That is correct. It's California Cool.
Is it?
It is California Cool.
Winning.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. How about that?
What? Didn't we just talk about this?
We did, and I told you that what you had told me. What was the one you came up with?
TB12.
That's not his. That's not his endorsed nickname. California Cool, however, is. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice job there, Chris. Congratulations. You got it in the nick of time. It's worth $100 in cash from the Hobeika Law Firm. We'll also give you the Utica All-in-One Food and Fun Card, which is $25 good at any of the following: Aquavino, Babes, 72 Tavern and Grill, Taylor and the Cook, or any of the concession stands at the Adirondack Bank Center. So, nice job.
Thanks, Bill.
I got a third nickname
Tom
for him.
Terrific. Well, in Buffalo, they call him Stupid. That's what his nickname is in Buffalo.
Yeah. The third nickname, by the way, is Giselle's ex.
Yeah. Yeah. Think about that. Meanwhile, she's out there just living it up, doing her bikini shoots and all of that.
Who watches the kids?
Yeah. I don't know.
I just wonder how much time they spend with their children, or if it's all like, maids, nannies
and all that, yeah. Au pairs. Okay, nice job, Chris. Congratulations.
Thanks, Bill.
We'll also throw in Davey. Take care of him with a table for six at Fat Cats Comedy Club. Go to Fat Cats Comedy Club for details. And by the way, Davey's going to take care of you. Chris, thank you so much. Nice job.
Thanks, Bill.
And it happened about an hour ago. Literally, all 5 shows have sold out for Jimmy Fallon. But there are seats available for Kevin Lee this weekend. He'll be in studio. Pretty excited about that.
Also, home show tickets, if he'd like to go this weekend
the home
as well.
show is this weekend at the Turning Stone Resort and Casino at the Event Center. And what a great show this is. It does give you the feel that spring is just around the corner and your home projects and all of that. Livid, I guess, is how we would describe Tony Pacini, the county executive, when it comes to the governor's budget proposal. Has a lot to do with, I think this is almost like deja vu. It's like Groundhog Day. Didn't we? We had the same complaint about Cuomo, didn't we?
Yeah, well, I was going to say the governor should have presented her budget today because it's more fitting that it's Groundhog Day, and that it's it's the old tune that I've heard that song before, and so here we are again. And it's just typical New York State, taking what belongs to the county governments and just keeping it and just saying, yeah, we're going to keep it.
Right.
And that's what, I mean, the FMAP, so it's complicated, but I can boil it down for people to understand. Several years ago when the Affordable Care Act was put in, the federal government, one of the positive things on the Medicaid side was because of various states like New York who have enhanced programs, the Cadillac of programs, as we often call them,
right?
That they were eligible for enhanced Medicaid assistance from the federal government to those states, and in our case, because counties, New York State, again, the only state that that doesn't pick up the entire Medicaid costs, it's passed down to the counties. So billions of dollars was passed on to New York State, for which there's 50% on the federal share, 25% state, 25% county. So there was a 50% share that came to the state, of which we're supposed to get our cut. It's like any other deal that goes on. In the last time they, and this was under the Cuomo administration, they held back a lot of money and they stopped paying us the FMAP money in 2016, and we've been fighting with them literally ever since. But then the pandemic hit, and of course things changed, so but we still weren't getting our money, but they were holding on to our money.
Right.
And so now, we had a meeting with the state budget director, who's no longer there, of course, last fall, and with the county executives to say, look, we want our money, we need our money, and we're entitled to our money, and it's so we're going to do this because we don't want to go to court, we don't want to do what is necessary, unfortunately, in these situations. So talking this back and forth, well, lo and behold, the governor's budget sweeps $1 billion, over $1 billion, which it's really more when you count the interest they've been holding on to since 2016. And that's an impact to all. That's money that is supposed to come to us, and then on top of which returns our Medicaid rates to the 2019 levels. So not only are we losing money that we're entitled to get, it should be coming to us to reduce our yearly Medicaid costs, we are also going to go back to other rates of increase, prior to the pandemic, which it's just New York State and this governor just not, just following, the same playbook, and it's really disappointing.
So it's the Enhanced Federal Medical Assistance Program. I guess here's where I'm kind of surprised that she can even do this. If the federal government allocated, they said we want to give New York State $100 million for a bridge, or that's dispersed to counties to fix bridges. Could the state just keep it? I'm just surprised she can snag it back.
Well, it's not this is not like a grant where a grant specifically says you have to spend it on this.
Well, but
right.
But this is where the state gets cute and where they play these games, because now if you look in the governor's budget on the other side of it, they're once again enhancing more of the Medicaid eligibility pieces, and and sharpening up, increasing rates to providers. So they become the heroes in this. But they use our money to do it.
Right.
So they're intercepting they're raising, on one hand, while we're doing this, we're raising rates, we're increasing eligibility in certain sectors. And, we got all this money that was going to go to the counties, but you know what? We'll keep it and we'll just do all these things with it. And, and the counties will benefit. Well, no, we don't benefit because it increases our rates. This is not about the delivery of Medicaid, because that is a different entity and that is a different cost. This is what we pay our share of Medicaid costs.
Right.
So that's what, people have to understand. We pay over $55 million a year in Medicaid. Wow. Just in this county alone. I mean, that's, and when we talk about, that's why when we talk about budgets and mandates, there's no bigger mandate than Medicaid. Never has been, probably never will be.
Well, you mentioned
and that's what it is.
You mentioned New York as being the Cadillac when it comes to services, the Cadillac of services. They compare what you get here in New York to a state like Florida.
Well, I think we may be even moving up to Mercedes or Lexus. I don't know.
You're right.
I think we're bypassed Cadillac right now.
And when Jeff you're saying, how could she do this? I think the county executive is saying she's following the playbook. This is what the Cuomo administration did. Same thing.
Yeah, look, it is. It's been what they've been playing for years. I mean, and again, our recourse as counties, and this is a big impact, especially for, that's for us, it's over $7 million right now.
Yeah.
For you look at Onondaga, and I was talking to Ryan yesterday, and it's over 14 million. In Erie County, it's 31 million. And it's just this money belongs to the taxpayers of our community.
Yeah,
it doesn't belong to me. It doesn't belong to the governor. It doesn't belong to the state of New York. And the fact that now we have to make adjustments and see how if this budget passes. Which look, everything that they propose because of the control of both houses and the state house. Do we have a shot at this? I don't know. We're going to have to go to, unfortunately, with NISAC, we're going to have to go to court, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Let me. Can I ask you, county executive, what do other states do? Do you have specifics on?
Well, other states don't require the counties to pay a share of Medicaid.
I see.
That's simple. That's what New York has never done that. We've tried for Medicaid takeover. We got a hard cap. And I was under Governor Pataki years ago, and then we got then they tried to take that away, and they've loosened the cap to only raise it by, up to 3% growth and put it on that. But then, the FMAP piece comes along, and, there's the the interception. It's the, interception of the pass, at the goal line. It's like, oh, wait a minute, we got you. So that's where we're at. That's one piece. There's other pieces in this budget. I haven't gone through everything, but there are other. I was asked yesterday at speaking to leadership in Mohawk Valley, and they asked me, "What are your concerns about the budget?" I said, "Just this. I don't know what cost shifts are coming down.
Yeah.
What they're going to do. I understand indigent legal defense, which we're required to give. They increased the rates on that, which is now like $150 million hit across the counties, across upstate, because we have to provide indigent defense. So they increased the rates without even talking to us about that.
Yeah.
So
and again, it's designed to help them.
Yeah.
Please ask Mr. Vicente why he's so concerned about the small spike in Medicaid. He was just bragging about the Turning Stone extra money, plus all the extra sales tax income the county has. Wasn't there a surplus last year? Shouldn't the county be able to afford this? Can you respond to that?
Yeah, I should be able to. That's well, I'll respond as politely as I can. And to leave $7.5 million on the table, that's a responsible county executive? That's what you want? And that's what you want me to say? The point here is, there's other revenue sources. That's true. This is for a program that costs multi-millions of dollars. So it's not about just taking something from another pot and then doing what the state is. So if I'm going to make up the $7 million, where am I going to go get it?
Right.
Should I go get it from the youth?
Us.
Should I go get it from the youth bureau? I don't want to. I'm not going to do that. Should I go get it from the aging, the elderly? I'm not doing that. The state owes us that money. It's our money. It's not even their money. That's a ridiculous statement to make in terms of what am I concerned about? I'm concerned about every dime that this county is entitled to. That's what I'm concerned about, and that's why it should be, accounted for. But it should be given to us. It's our money.
Yeah, and
when, that's just ridiculous.
When I guess the question is posed as, can't we afford it? It's not like it comes out of Tony's pocket. It's not coming out of Tony's buddy's pocket. It's our pocket.
Right.
But can we afford it? The point is, budgets go year to year.
Right.
This is not a one-time impact. This impacts us, going. Our budgets are projected out and looked at, from a 3 to 5 year period. Right. I don't just put a budget together and walk away. It's a matter of looking at things on how we're going to balance things, over the next few years, but also how we're going to pay for things.
County Executive, we appreciate the time. Thank you. I believe there's some sarcasm in that question, just for the record. My guess. But thank you.
That's okay.
We'll do this again.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
County Executive Anthony Picente, WIBX Utica, Rome. It's 8 o'clock.
You believe Phil? Yes, it's Groundhog Day again. And the famed furry forecaster just saw his shadow.
No matter how you measure, it's 6 more weeks of winter weather.
Dan McGinley with the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club in front of a big crowd again. But weather fun, from there to real weather trouble. An ice storm has frozen areas from Tennessee to Texas, snapping trees, taking down power lines, leading to almost 400,000 outages. No surprise to Matt Mitchell with Austin Energy.
When you consider how much weight is added by even a half-inch of ice, and some of this accumulation is much more than that.
All the icy roads have led to crashes, at least 8 deaths in Texas, 700 flights canceled. In Memphis, the funeral for Tyree Nichols.
Tyree was a beautiful person. And for this to happen to him is just unimaginable.
His mother, Rovon Wells, her son died following a traffic stop beating.
Vice President Kamala Harris noted the contradiction of Nichols surrounded by officers.
Tyree Nichols should have been safe.
Because he wasn't, Attorney Ben Crump said after the service,
every last one of them on that video need to be held accountable.
The 5 officers charged with murder, assault, kidnapping, and other counts are set to appear in court 2 weeks from tomorrow.
Fox's Gernal Scott. They didn't agree to anything other than to talk more. President Biden met with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy on raising the debt limit to prevent a U.S. default. A new Fox News poll has Americans giving the president a thumbs down. 54% disapprove of the job he's doing.
81% of people describe America as a dysfunctional family. Those numbers up about 10 points from 2020. Only 16% would describe America as a tight-knit family.
So that's Fox's Mark Meredith. 80% of people say the economy is either poor or fair. America's listening to Fox News.
David in Pennsylvania writes in to tell us about his experience with Relief Factor. I tried Relief Factor for hip pain and was surprised that it also helped relieve my shoulder and foot discomfort. After taking it for a month, I stopped. And sure enough, the pain returned. So I started taking Relief Factor again, and within a week, the pain was relieved. I'm now taking Relief Factor daily. Well, thank you, David. You know, I've heard your story before. People stopping and then starting again because it works. As you all know, I had trouble with aches and pains, and climbing steps was brutal. Your first step to living the life you love, free from aches and pains, could just be to order the 3-week Quick Start for the highly discounted price of $19.95. After trying Relief Factor, over 500,000 people have gone on to order more. Try it for yourself and see what all these people are talking about. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF to find out more about this offer. That's 800-4RELIEF. Live your best life and feel the difference with Relief Factor.
We have cloudy skies, mostly cloudy skies now, 16 degrees. WIBX News Time is 8:03. We do have a wind chill warning in effect from 7 o'clock tomorrow morning through noon on Saturday. We could see dangerously cold wind chill temps falling to as low as 30 below zero. We'll take a closer look at that forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Utica police making 2 arrests following an indictment in connection with a shooting last year where a 12-year-old was injured, in fact, shot in the face, hit by gunfire. Last week, an Oneida County grand jury returned indictments in connection with that shooting. It occurred in August of last year. 2 men, 36-year-old Willie Linder of Utica and 30-year-old Shaquille Hendricks, also of Utica, have been indicted on charges and were arrested. Each faces a charge of assault in the first degree and attempted assault in the first degree. Hendricks faces an additional charge of criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree. An official working as an assessor in a Herkimer County town faces a felony charge amid allegations he was apparently spying on other town employees. That's according to New York State Police, who have charged Justin Masters with eavesdropping, a Class E felony. Masters is the town of Webb assessor, a position he's held for more than 4 years. The 47-year-old accused of using a hidden camera to record town employees in their office without their knowledge or consent. Leon Etienne and his Magic Rocks Illusion Show coming to the Turning Stone Resort and Casino this weekend. It shows on Saturday, 2 shows in the showroom. Etienne bringing his large show to Turning Stone, featuring plenty of his illusions performed on national television. He joined us earlier in this week, said this was the big show, and all of his illusions will be on display. You can get tickets via the box office at Turning Stone, through Ticketmaster. Just go to our website. A link is available there at WIBX950.com. Your WIBX Weather Center forecast has a wind chill warning in effect beginning at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, continuing until noon on Saturday. Today, mostly sunny, a high of 32 degrees. Snow showers tonight. We'll have an overnight low of 2 below, but with the wind chill, it'll feel like 10 or 15 below zero. Friday, chance of snow showers mainly in the afternoon. Friday's high just 1 degree. Wind chill values as low as 25 below. Friday night, again, slight chance of snow showers. An overnight low of 12 below. With the wind chill, it will feel like nearly 30 below. Mostly cloudy on Saturday with a high of 16. A change coming Sunday, cloudy and a high just shy of 40. Right now we have cloudy skies, 18 degrees, WIBX News
Can
Time.
I just say?
Yeah.
When it's cold like this, make sure you're checking on the elderly.
Oh, yes.
Checking on your pets and your hot tub. Just telling you.
Don't want that to crack and start leaking.
No, I mean, all it takes is a couple hours. With cold like that, the breaker goes, your hot tub is gone.
18 degrees.
And your pets and the elderly.
Mostly cloudy. Here's Keeler with more commentary on the hot tub.
Just trying to keep it real this morning, Jeff. Trying to keep it real. From the IBEW Local 43 Sports Desk. Here are your NBA scores from last night. Hawks over the Suns, 132-100. The Raptors lost to the Jazz, 131-128. Rockets beat the Thunder. The Nets falling to the Celtics, 139-96. Timberwolves beating the Warriors, 119-114. Last night, the Utica Comets falling to the Syracuse Crunch in overtime. They'll pick out a point. They'll get a point out of this because it ended up in a shootout. However, they lose after being down, They were down 3-1 after leading 1-0. Came back to tie it up and then lose in the shootout. If you're looking at the schedule of things to do this weekend and you like hockey, it could be your weekend. Beginning with everything happening, all the tournaments that go on at the Nexus Center. Beyond that, the Comets are on the road Friday night. They'll be home on Saturday to face the Providence Bruins. Game time is 7 o'clock at the Adirondack Bank Center. The Pioneers playing their last 2 home games of the season this weekend. Maybe you want to do a doubleheader on Saturday. We'll explain that. Friday night, the Pioneers are home at the Adirondack Bank Center. They'll be playing King's College. And then Saturday, that's a 7 o'clock game. Saturday, before the Comets game, at 2 p.m., King's College and the Utica Pioneers will play at the Adirondack Bank Center. Again, the final regular season home games of the season. There you have it.
Comment from Lance. Do you want it?
Lance and Lee.
Yes. Good morning, Lance. So the question I asked came via the app from Lance. He said, thank you, but this is every county's burden. All I was saying is that we should be able to absorb the blow without all the complaining. He brought up the Onondaga County executive. I haven't seen or heard any public complaints from him. Didn't Pacenti hold back sales tax money from the small towns and villages within the last couple of years? But that's okay. So that's his counter to that. But in any case, it's our money. It's not like it's Tony's money. You know what I mean?
You're right. And then another comment here. This is a great idea by Ann in Rome. Are you ready? Ann said, I purchased paper coffee cups for my postal worker, and I give hot coffee to the postal worker, not
Nice.
postman, postwoman, whatever.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's a great deed there. Good idea for people to take care, because it's they're still walking to your mailbox.
Oh,
and
they absolutely
it is
are.
frigid cold out there. 809 Joe Load on the road on the line. Good morning, Joe.
All right, Bill, blackberry brandy in the mailbox doesn't freeze, just so you know. I tested it.
That's perfect. Good idea.
Listen, just a couple of things. I'm very excited this morning. I don't mean to keep harping on this, but we did a raffle for a 70-inch TV at the Matt Naimi Buick GMC dealership to raise money for Matthew's Place, which is a thrift store and food pantry in Boonville. Been in business for over 32 years. We raised $1,700 for them on that raffle of the TV, and a woman from Central Square won the TV.
Very nice. Okay, awesome.
Very nice, Joe.
And in other news, I got my program yesterday in the mail, right? You remember I ordered the Snow Festival program from 1978?
The 1978 Snowfest in Boonville featuring Billy Carter. Looked online, found a program. I bought one.
Yes.
And Joe bought one from the same guy out in Niskayuna. He had them. He had like 2 left,
So
right?
I end up opening up the program automatically to the centerfold, which is Utica Club ad, which is very cool.
That is a cool
2-page
ad. Yeah.
And then a couple of things were in there, and I was like, "Whoa, what is this?" And I look and I unfold this piece of paper, and it's the program weekend schedule of events with Billy Carter's picture, and it says Boonville welcomes Billy, and it's like I think it's like an 8x15 kind of sheet of poster.
That wasn't in mine.
Inside of that, Bill. Inside of that was an autographed photo of Billy Carter.
Get out of here!
I swear to God.
I didn't get that. I got mine yesterday in the mail. Did you get yours yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday.
That stinks. I mean, it's great for you. It's great for you.
And I only paid $8 for it because I offered him $8 and he accepted it.
I'm hanging up on you. Because it was like buy it now, or best offer on eBay.
Best offer, so I offered him $8. He took it.
What was the original price?
I don't know. It wasn't much. It was like $10 or so.
Yeah. So you at a garage sale, I can only imagine. Would you take a nickel for that? I see you have a quarter listed here.
Hey, everybody asks every day for a discount, and there's nothing wrong with it.
I don't know what that.
Guess what happens if you don't ask? You don't get it.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So I got nothing, and I didn't get any picture in mine. That's terrible.
You better go look at it. Maybe you missed it.
I'll go thumbing through it. You never know. I can't imagine, because he'd be selling the autographed picture. And when you look at Billy Carter's stuff, I mean, he's not the most profitable collectible out there.
Yeah,
by
I'm
any
seeing about
means.
$20-25 for his autograph online.
Yeah. So that's Joe, for $8. You got a $25 gift right there.
I scored. I really think I did score. Yeah.
Typical you.
You take the little wins. You take the wins wherever you
have
get them.
to. You're right. Collect them. Enjoy them while you can. I like it. Okay, Joe. Nice job on the $1,700 there for that TV raffle.
Yeah, that's going to go a long way for a place like that. You know?
Well, no. All right, nice job. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
You guys have a great day. Stay warm, and don't forget to check your elderly and your pets.
And your hot tub. Yep. All right, thank you.
And your hot tub.
And your hot tub. 1 year we didn't. 1 year, I'm going to tell you. 1 year we didn't. And actually I ended up, so we had this little hot tub, and it wasn't a 220, so it was a little smaller, and it was nice. You go out there in the wintertime, and you get in, it'd be 102 degrees. Loved it. And all of a sudden, I walked outside, and I didn't hear any noise. I'm like, oh, boy.
It's that deafening silence.
It's the silence. So I went over to check the hot tub, and it was slush. It was a slush tub. And so now I'm like, all right, let me turn it on. I got the power back going on the thing. Let me turn it on and try to get it going, and nothing would happen. I mean, you would hear the motor running, but
and it would run all the time.
It always run.
Oh, okay.
You have to have it always running.
Okay, all right.
In the wintertime, you're going to have it outdoors. So, and the problem is if you don't run it in the wintertime, you can't leave water in it. You got to make sure all of the water is out. Otherwise, it will freeze the pipes. But the pipes had frozen on this. So here I am out in the middle of the winter putting heaters inside the guts of the hot tub, trying to get this thing back up and running where it would push water through. And it finally worked, and we saved the whole thing.
Oh, you did save it.
We did, yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Here's my
but
question.
You could it'll crack the pipes. You'll have a mess on your hands.
Is there a way you can use like salt water, ocean water?
They do have saltwater hot tubs, just like saltwater pools. But there's not enough there's not enough salt in that where running water and keeping it warm, you'll be just fine.
Okay.
So make sure it stays warm. A couple things to mention. Ricky Z, who's by the way mentioned in our Complete Streets song, just like Ricky Z said, it'll hop into high gear, and it did. It's Steve Ponte Mazda, a great car buying or car leasing or used car buying pre-owned experience, a great different experience when it comes to car buying, and that is Steve Pani Mazda. They really take care of you. And Rick takes a personal interest in making sure that every deal that goes through is a good deal for each and every buyer out there. That's the Steve Pani way. Family-owned and operated, Steve Pani Mazda. And Rick just brings a completely different experience to the whole place. And so does everybody else that works there. You're treated incredibly well, and the brand-new facility is just convenient. It's Steve Pani Mazda, family-owned and operated, Steve Pani Mazda on Commercial Drive. Coming up, Mighty John, the record guy. If you have any vinyl, speaking of things that are valuable, we have some good ones for you coming up. Some great ideas you might have in a box in your attic or somewhere in your home, maybe in the garage, who knows? You might have something valuable out there. John will walk us through it, coming right up at WIBX.
You have cancer. 3 words you wish you could unhear. But just because a cancer diagnosis may be a shock to your system doesn't mean cancer surgery has to be. Now, there's Edge Radio Surgery. It breaks down tumors in less than an hour per treatment. No knife, no hospital stay. Faster treatments, lower risk. Edge Radio Surgery, now at AMP of New York. Learn more at ampofny.com/edge. You may experience side effects which may be severe. Ask your doctor. Edge Radio Surgery, Associated Medical Professionals of New York is right for you.
Do you ever get the feeling that the world is being held together with duct tape? Every day we're thrown some new meaningless drama in the fake news to distract us from the reality we're all about to face. Between the government trying to print their way out of debt, military conflicts, the disintegration of our most trusted institutions, and a looming food shortage, preparedness is no longer a choice. It's a necessity. You can trust My Patriot Supply. Our emergency food kits come packed with tasty meals, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least 1 kit for each person in your family. Self-reliance is the only alternative to government food lines. Time is running out. Become ungovernable. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com and save on dozens of different emergency food kits while you can. These kits are in stock, ship fast, and arrive in unmarked boxes for your privacy. Go to MyPatriotSupply.com before the next crisis strikes. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Hey there, it's Jeff Manaski from WIBX. You know, the amount of people doing business online has skyrocketed. Are you stuck in the past and ready to move into the future? It's never been more important to make sure that your business is online. Town Square Interactive can help. Town Square Interactive can help you find more customers online and help you grow your business. The best part? It's fast, easy, and there are no contracts. If you want to find out more, just visit mylocalcustomers.com. That's mylocalcustomers.com.
Research shows listeners prefer a personalized experience. So to help you remember, Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance. We personalized this ad for Amber, who really misses boy bands from the 90s.
Hey girl, I'm the cute one, here to tell you how Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
I'm the heartthrob. The only thing I love more than you is saving. And I'm the other boy in the band everyone forgot about.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
Hey, the official coffee of the Keeler in the Morning radio program is from Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. You can try out their lattes. Some, 14 plus different flavors. The drive-through is definitely lightning fast. And, the coffee is just delicious. It's Seattle's best. Daylight Donuts with fresh bagels, fresh donuts every single day. Daylight Donuts in the village of New Hartford. On the line right now is Mighty John, the record guy. If you have any vinyl, listen up. Here's your opportunity. John, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Good. So I think the last we had talked, you were going to have a conversation with someone about someone's remarks regarding Utica, if you recall. Any progress there?
Didn't he recall those remarks? Didn't he apologize? I think he did.
He did apologize. You're right.
Yes.
We're talking about Stephen King, who really is the reason John is the vinyl expert publicly that he is today. But you're right. He did offer an apology. Amazing the power he has. It's quite incredible.
Absolutely.
He got
He's
a lot
a good guy. He really is.
He got a lot of press for that. So good stuff. All right, John, good morning. We're looking here 10 records that are worth $250 or more that could be just sitting around your house.
Well, that's true. That's where you find them, in the garage somewhere you didn't know you had, or at the yard sales coming up, not next weekend, but certainly in the future.
Yeah.
Look for the Kingsmen, their big hit, Louie Louie, the original on Jordan Records, currently up to $250.
And for those that that song had some controversy around it, right?
It was banned, actually, by the governor of Indiana. He forbid the radio stations from playing it. The FBI got involved because they thought it were dirty lyrics, but in fact they weren't. It was just the story of a man talking to a bartender about going home to Jamaica to see his girlfriend, and the bartender's name was Louie.
It's interesting. The whole controversy was about the fact that they really couldn't figure out the words. So what they didn't know had to be offensive, right? And
right. Well,
you know.
Ron Eli, who was the lead singer, was too far away from the microphone, and apparently he was inebriated at the time, and so everything came out that way.
That's so
That
funny.
is such a great part of that story and song. Wow.
Yeah. You'd never think it, right? $250 worth $250.
And obviously, this was in advance
60s.
of our freedom of speech in the country. That
Apparently, yes. Before Washington and yeah. Okay, next up.
Mamas and Papas, the album If You Can Believe Your Eyes and Ears. Look at the cover. Mamas and Papas are in a tub on the cover. If the toilet to the right is blocked off, $25. But if on the cover there's a full view of the toilet, up to $250.
Okay.
Yeah. Soundtrack should be collectible. TV show The Green Hornet soundtrack. Current value up to $250. Big bucks for the Beach Boys. Cool, Cool Water, one of their lesser-known singles, came out in 1971. Cool, Cool Water by the Beach Boys, currently up to $350. One you might not remember, Quiet Riot, the 45 Slick Black Cadillac, currently up to $400. Doo-wop, very collectible. Look for Dion and the Belmonts, their first album presenting Dion and the Belmonts, current value up to $500. Ronnie James Dio, his very first album, Dio at Domino's, currently up to $700. Of course, everything by Elvis is worth money. One of his last hits, Hunk of Burnin' Love. If you have that 45, look at the color of the label. The label is orange, no more than $15. But if the label is gray, current value up to $750. Question Mark and the Mysterians, one-hit wonders in the 60s with 96 Tears. The original label, Pagogo Records, makes it worth up to $800. In 1976, Neil Diamond recorded a song with the classmates of his son at school, and they put it out. It was called We Wrote a Song Together. This is a 12-inch single on Continuum Records, current value up to $2,000.
Wow. Love it. We'll get into. I want to get into the eBay thing in a second, because you got to be very careful. Sometimes you think you're buying something, you got an amazing price, and you're like, "Wow, this record's worth, $2,000, and I'm buying it for just $10." Yeah. Too good to be
all the time.
Too good to be true. Turns out it might not be the right label. It may be a reprint. Right? You got to be careful with that stuff.
Got to be careful. Very careful.
I love it when you throw out a few bonuses. What do you have?
Well, there are a lot of records out there that nobody's ever heard of, but that doesn't mean they're not worth money. 1978, Jack's Transit Authority, 45, Love is a Miracle. It'd be a miracle if you find it, but if you do, it's up to $6,000. And also in 1966, The Butlers, Because of My Heart. This 45, currently up to $7,000.
You just don't know what you have. Sometimes you have something big. How about quality? In terms of, if you have something, it has value, it fits the criteria that you've laid out here, yet the quality is just not that good. There might be some scratches on it. What does that do to the value?
Yeah, condition is everything. That's why we always say a record is worth up to, because condition is the number one factor involved. So, to keep them in good condition, if you can, keep them stored at room temperature, never in the basement, never in the attic. Moisture and heat, those are the big enemies. And store them like a book on a shelf, not horizontally piled on top of one another.
Good stuff. It's moneymusic.com is the website where you have the values of everything that's out there.
We put out a guide that lists the values for well over 1 million records. We've got a big sale going on right now at Money Music. So if you're thinking of getting a guide and finding out what over 1 million records are worth, now's the time to do it. MoneyMusic.com, and check out our YouTube videos as well.
And if you want to get a message to Stephen King, John is your guy.
I
they're
have his
neighbors.
email address. Would you like me to give it to you?
I think we might have to. Yeah, we might have to. I'm going to ask you.
I was going to ask, any expertise on the Billy Carter memorabilia? What's a Billy Carter autograph going for that we just talked about last segment?
Yeah, Billy Carter. Yeah. No,
yeah.
that's what I know.
It's funny, though, that there were, and I don't know if you recall any of them, but I was reading and doing some research on it because he had made an appearance here back when Jimmy Carter was president, and the Billy beer was being released, and some of that was brewed here in Utica. He was arrested here for getting drunk and stealing a police car. Funny how that never made the news, and it was kind of made to go away.
What is it with these Democrats? Now you got Hunter Biden, you had Billy Carter. I mean, wow.
These aren't Republicans doing this, John. These are Democrats.
That's what I said.
Anyway, but the story is, though, on one of the pieces of history that I dug up, is there were a handful of songs that included Billy Beer in them. I just can't think of any offhand that ever became hits. I don't know about you.
I do not know of any, no. You're telling me something for the first time.
Yeah. I'm assuming after drinking enough of that Billy Beer, you were singing a certain song, but that's probably as far as that'll go. All right,
is
John.
Is he still alive?
He is not still alive.
Okay.
No.
All right.
All right.
Well, that autograph price might be going up then.
Might be.
That's right.
MoneyMusic.com. John, as always, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Mighty John, the record guy. Good stuff. And he is neighbors and friends with Stephen King. So after we spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, he did get a message to Stephen King, and it was shortly thereafter that King issued his tongue-in-cheek, I feel, but he issued his apology to the people of Utica after tweeting. What was it? It was about the House.
It was the House vote, the majority vote. Yeah. And it was the winner gets. It's like the old saying is, the winner gets 1 week in Utica. No, the loser gets 1 week in Utica. The winner gets 2 weeks in Utica. Yeah. And I just, John was absolutely hilarious. I just feel like the whole situation there was, okay, fine, you don't want me to mention you, I'll never mention you again.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Really offended by that. It's a joke. Come on.
Interestingly, his daughter was a minister at a church over on Clinton Road for quite some time here. And there have been sightings where people say Stephen King has spent some time here. I mean, which is why he references in a couple of his books, he references Utica.
I mean, I have met some characters from his books, I think, out and about in the city before, and they're scary.
There's a lot of inspiration. A lot of inspiration that comes from Utica. Got a break. Hold tight. 8:28 coming up. Bob Cardillo has an opinion. He's running for mayor of Utica. Has an opinion on what should happen at St. Eve's and St. Luke's, specifically St. Elizabeth's Hospital. We'll speak with Bob coming up in a second. Also, John Decker on the latest from Gray TV. He is the chief White House correspondent. We'll speak with John in a few minutes. 8:29 at WIBX.
Blending bluegrass and jam band music, Chicken Wire Empire brings a contemporary spin to its Midwest stylings. Hear what Jamgrass is all about when the band performs for the Concerts in the Court series at 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, February 4th at Munson Williams in downtown Utica. Enjoy live music from an international touring band in the intimate setting of the museum's Root Sculpture Court.
For info on tickets, visit mwpai.org. Sponsored by Elizabeth Lemieux, PhD, and PJ Green Inc.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Everyone knows time is money, so don't wait weeks for the IRS to send out your tax refund. Go to Jackson Hewitt instead for up to $3,500 with a no-interest, no-fee, tax refund advance loan. With up to $3,500, you could bring home the bacon and bring it home today. Money now instead of later? That's worth its weight in gold. Don't wait weeks for your refund. Go to Jackson Hewitt today. For eligible clients, loans by Republic Bank and Trust Company, details at jacksonhewitt.com.
Let's face it, credit cards are pretty much a necessity.
New tires for the car? Here's my card.
I order takeout, here's my card. And most of us just accept the high interest rates credit cards charge as a necessary evil.
What are you going to do?
Get a low fixed-rate credit card consolidation loan from Lightstream from $5,000 to $100,000 and pay off those credit card balances. Apply online, and you could get your money as soon as the day you apply. The average credit card company charges over 19% APR. But with Lightstream, you can get a fixed rate as low as 7.99% APR with autopay and excellent credit.
Now I can pay off my high-interest credit cards and save money with a much lower rate.
Apply today at lightstream.com/radio and get an additional interest rate discount. That's lightstream.com/radio. Lightstream.com/radio.
Subject to credit approval. Rates range from 7.99% APR to 23.99% APR and include a 0.5% autopay discount. Lowest rate requires excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply, and offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/radio for more information.
Stock market traders, the new year is here, and it's time to stop taking chances with your portfolio or retirement funds. Take control of your trading and dominate volatility with the power of artificial intelligence technology from Vantage Point. Text the word demo to 813-813 to learn more. You can discover how to predict stock market trends up to 3 days ahead with incredible accuracy. Whether you trade stocks, options, forex, or futures, Vantage Point's patented AI can give you a massive edge in 2023. Text DEMO to 813-813 and learn what you need to stay ahead of markets and find big moves before they happen. Don't wait. Text DEMO to 813-813. Trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Past results do not guarantee future performance. By texting, you agree to the terms available at VantagePointSoftware.com and consent to receive calls and texts using automated technology about offers or info by or on behalf of Vantage Point. Your consent is not a condition to purchase and can be revoked at any time. Message and data rates may apply. Text DEMO to 813-813.
For your financial advice to be useful, it needs to be tailored to how you live your life. I'm Jim McGuire, branch manager of Baird's Utica office. At Baird, we provide investment and financial planning for all areas of your life: retirement, family, and estate plans, and charitable giving. Plus, we coordinate our advice with your tax and legal advisors, so you can be confident all your plans are working together for you. Discover the Baird difference. Visit BairdUtica.com.
It can be dangerously easy to steal your identity during tax season because so much sensitive info is all together.
Before we start the annual meeting of Sean's personal info, has anyone seen Social Security number?
Not me.
Nope. Nuh-uh. Oh no. He's been stolen.
LifeLock by Norton makes it easy to help protect yourself. If you become a victim, we'll work to fix it. No one can monitor all transactions, but you can save up to 25% off your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
Let's talk about River Hills Properties, continuing to be the fastest growing real estate company here in central New York. And there's a reason. It's because of happy customers, people who have sold and people who have purchased, spread the word, and so on and so on. You know how that works. It's all about the services that they provide, the extra things that they do that are not normal in our area, in this real estate market here. The fact that they're with you every step from start to finish. From the appraisal all the way down to the closing, every step of the way, they have your back. And they're at your home every time your house is shown. And that's no matter the value, no matter the selling price, whatever. It could be a $25,000 property out in the middle of nowhere. They will be there every time that property is shown. That's what your listing agent does for you when you list with River Hills. And there's the book. So what is the book? We talk about it. It's 40 to 100 pages, depending on the property, depending on the home. And it's everything that there is to talk about. And it might be an addition that was put on, or when the roof was newly put on, or when you replaced the furnace. Receipts. Everything is there. It's almost like a manual for the home. A great tool if you're ready to make an offer on a property. That's the River Hills way. Why would you not list with River Hills? They work for that commission like nobody else. In Barneville, Little Falls, Utica, and online 24/7. It's riverhillspropertiesllc.com. Call 315-896-1009. Remember, nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
All right, 8:35, and Wednesday morning, if you care about it, the groundhog apparently saw the shadow, which means 6 more weeks of winter, so I'm told.
Oh, I thought it meant he started to grow a beard. I thought.
I was just saying, I didn't shave coming in this morning, and I got to stop doing that because everything has turned gray. It's terrible, Bob.
It is.
I mean, there you are with your black hair and
Black.
there's a little gray there.
God,
There's a little
come
gray
on.
there.
I wish it was, but
Yeah.
I could do Tony Romo.
Yes.
Isn't that awful?
Yeah, I know.
Just-
It's terrible. Meanwhile, Manasseh over there with the full hat, he's all worried. Before you know, you'll be great too. That's what
Well, I know.
That's what this show does to you. Believe me.
Let's see. Are you going to have it? That's the important thing. It's like, we don't really.
Yeah, you could be like us.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
exactly.
I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm doing everything I can to keep it. So.
Yeah, he is. He's tried every gimmick out there.
Father Time will get you.
Yeah, it does. Davey, of course, right, Davey? We could all end up like Davey.
Didn't happen like this.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
You're going to go down that road.
Yeah, but
All
it's
right.
good, though.
That's all right.
I don't have to go get haircuts anymore.
Right. Think of the money you've saved.
Right.
Which,
a lot
by
of
the
money there.
way, this had begun. I can't blame Biden for this one. This had begun a while ago, but the price of everything has gone up. So, it's like, I don't know, depending on where you go, it's anywhere from like $18 to $22 for like a standard cut. And I guess a cut is a cut, but like if your kid's 5 or 6, it's still, that
You're right.
price. Or if
You're
you're
right.
40, it's
Yeah.
that price. So it's like,
or if you're me or Bill.
right. And that's a great
Really,
point too.
It's true.
I will not go into any barber that doesn't give me half price because I'm sorry. It's like going to buy bananas or a half a dozen eggs. I mean, I expect to pay less.
Right.
I only bought 6.
Right.
Or you could be like me and I just do my own at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
What are you going to do? Hello, Bob. Bob Cardillo is running for mayor of Utica, is in studio. Yesterday, we had MVHS in, and Bob Schofield was in, and they're talking about prepping the facility for an upcoming sale, making sure that it is in, I guess, tip-top shape to be sold.
Yes.
What happens with it after that I guess we don't know, but you have some ideas on what you would like to see happen.
Yes, I do. I think, first of all, the campus in and of itself is a beautiful piece of property. And I really think that part of it needs to be preserved. I'm not one for tearing things down, particularly the original building. It's the architecture's great. And I think, obviously some of the buildings around the parking garage or whatever are going to need to be taken down. But I think the first thing we have to be concerned with is to make sure that the residents of South Utica are included in this process.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived on Douglas Crescent, so I was literally right in back of the hospital. And, the residents are going to be very concerned with what goes there.
Sure.
And I think we need to include them in whatever process that takes place.
Would you be against the Stewarts going there? No?
No, they have one down the street
Yeah,
now.
good point.
so
Good point.
Yeah.
But how much do you obviously, and that's really what HS said yesterday, is that part of their it's not even their goal. They're saying their responsibility is to come up with a purpose for that,
yes,
a buyer for that would benefit the people of South Utica.
Right. Well, and it could also, besides benefiting the people of South Utica, it could also be a really good place for the city in and of itself. My concept, and all of this has to be looked at because we don't know cost-wise what will happen. But the first thing I believe is that we do need housing in Utica, market rate housing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it's a place where we need to be putting low-income housing.
Right.
I don't think it's appropriate for that area. Maybe some senior housing might be okay, but my thought would be you take possibility of condominiums, apartments. If you look at it, maybe something with some small retail, like boutique shops or barbershop or a hairdresser shop, a coffee shop, something that you could integrate on that property, which would be in and of itself like a little village.
Yeah.
So
how many acres is it again? They said
believe you said
yesterday.
20?
20 acres.
20
yeah.
or 23 acres.
Yeah, approximately, yeah.
It's a big footprint. And the other thing I think we need to be mindful of is that back in 1991, St. Elizabeth's was identified by New York State Historical Society, the CR culture. It's called Cultural Resource Information System, and it's eligible, and we could update the eligibility. So there may be some opportunities in terms of funding tax credit properties because of that area and the historic credits that might be able to go along with that. So, and you know what's funny? I spent time in that hospital. God bless her, Sister Rose Vincent was just a wonderful woman.
Yeah.
And you think about that ground and how much the nuns cared for that. And I could really see something that has some kind of a dedication to Sister Rose Vincent, some kind of a dedication to those people that work there, the doctors and nurses.
Yeah.
You know, my dad had several operations in that place. So I think it's really something that we need to preserve and preserve in a way that can be really attractive and be a place where people can go and have a great time.
Interesting proposal. It almost sounds to me a little bit like what we've seen some malls in central New York do or try to do. Take this space and make it into, I don't want to say group living. That's not what it is, but there would be individual housing.
Almost a community.
But
in a community.
Common areas, like you said, a coffee shop, maybe a restaurant, maybe a gym type facility, although there's plenty of walking that you can do over on that campus.
Yeah, and even the potential of some medical offices. I mean, especially if you're going to have enough people in that neighborhood, you could have some medical offices. When I lived in Saratoga County in Malta, there was a strip on Route 9 that they took down, and they had these condominiums, and on the bottom floor were these various shops.
Right, right.
And it's a nice concept, and I've seen that. I've seen that in many places. You know,
How
so
do you,
again, I think the affordability
you
is
sell the
issue.
property to one developer and
Well,
Is this
again,
a city
I think
thing
that-
or a private developer comes in and does this?
I think it's got to be, may have to be a combination, because they own the land. MVHS owns the land, so they've got to sell that property. Whether they sell it to one developer, which I think is the way to go, truthfully, because if you get too many hands in there,
Right.
and not necessarily going to all work together, and I think the city has to have input, and the city could potentially help to do some things with funding. I even think about why not talk to the county executive and bring the county in, because there may be some opportunities there. Because again, if we look at regional, I keep harping on regional. If we look at this from a regional perspective, it could be a 20-acre plot that could attract people to come.
Right, right.
So I think there's a lot of ways to work this, and we need to be open-minded about it.
We're talking to Bob Cardillo. He's running for mayor as a Republican, and of course, your opponent. Why should people select Bob Cardillo versus your opponent? That's going to be the first decision they have to make. Republicans.
It's a job interview, and if we look at a job interview, I would look at my credentials and look at my opponent's credentials. I think one of the things that we need to continue to maintain in Utica is a high level of working on economic development. That's what I have done for the majority of my career. As the regional director for Empire State Development under the Pataki administration, I spent almost 8 years with HUD, with the Bush administration, and I do this for a living. I mean, this isn't something that I just woke up and said, wow, I can do economic development.
Yeah.
I know the programs. I understand the pitfalls. But more than anything, I love the community, and I have the time to give back to this community. I'm at a point in my career where I can do this. I can do it on a full-time basis, which is exactly what I believe it needs, and to continue the growth that we've had. And I also believe that if you've looked at what I've said since November 10th, since I made my announcement, I've talked about crime. I'm not shying away from it. I've talked about St. Elizabeth's. I've talked about the fact that we may have some financial issues down the road because of the way governments are going to be funded post-COVID.
Right.
So I've talked about all those issues, and I think that's important. So what I would say to the citizens of Utica is, look, this is something that I didn't wake up yesterday and decide to do. This has been something that I've really wanted to do for a long time, and I have the opportunity to do it. And I would look at my credentials and suggest that I have the ability to be able to do it.
A quick question. You mentioned the ability to dedicate this and approach it as a full-time gig. Is that a suggestion that that's not being done now?
Oh, no, I think Rob, the mayor really works at this job. I mean, you could say a lot, but he does work at the job. He works at it. It's his only position. I'm not necessarily sure that that's the perspective of my opponent. So, time will tell. But I think when I put my credentials up against my opponent's credentials, or any of those folks that are running, that my credentials are there.
You mentioned a concern about post-COVID funding for governments. What is the concern there?
Well, the concern is if you read in many periodicals, and I listen every morning. I get up and watch Squawk Box. You can tell that after this COVID money is gone, we may have to tighten our belts. It may not happen in 24,
right.
But 25, 26, and beyond. The government doesn't have the money. They start cutting funding, which means it's going to trickle down to the municipalities. And I think we got to be very mindful of that. And the city budget is coming out, and I want to take a really good look at the budget and see, where we're appropriating money.
Your background in economic development, what stands out to you in this area as, I guess, selling points, areas that need to be focused on? What do you see with the background?
I think that the idea of developing downtown has been terrific. It's been a real success. I think the concept of working with the county and projects that have gone on with the county have been terrific. I think what we have to focus on more is the neighborhoods. I think the neighborhoods are problematic, particularly if you look at crime. And I've said this over and over again. If you want people to invest in a community and they don't believe that community is safe, we're going to have a real problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that we have to work on, neighborhood by neighborhood.
Obviously, it's been a state issue, bail reform and how the state deals with crime, some changes to the laws. How do you focus on a neighborhood or you try to take crime out of a neighborhood when, in many cases, a person committing the crime is just cut loose and they go right back to where they were committing a crime or doing whatever they may have allegedly been doing?
How about the guy yesterday that made the announcement that he was getting in a police car? Hey, I'll be out tomorrow afternoon. And he has got 11 different convictions. I mean, you can't make it up. To answer that is I think you have to involve the neighborhood. I don't think it's something that City Hall can come down from on high and say, here's what we need to do. You got to involve the neighborhoods. You have to make sure that we have clean streets, make sure that we have good policing, and have our communities work with all the various aspects of our city.
I wanted to ask on a different topic, the school board.
Yeah.
I do, and maybe I don't have this correct. I know KTV ran a story, and there is a lawsuit where the current superintendent, who's on paid administrative leave, Bruce Karam, is suing the district. But beyond that, there was a vote recently, it was the other night, where the board voted unanimously to keep him on paid administrative leave. Previously, you voted against that. Has something happened that prompted you to change your vote? Because you voted to keep him on administrative leave. What happened?
Well, I think we
what
did
changed?
We did it unanimously. I think
correct.
Until the process evolves here, process has to finish. And I think in order to do that, I mean, he's still the superintendent. I mean, we have an acting
Correct.
superintendent.
Right.
So
I guess my question is, you initially when that vote first came up, you voted against it, but this time you voted for it.
Because at the time, I think myself and the other two board members felt that it wasn't an appropriate action. But now, I mean, how long has it been?
Right.
It's already been 2.5, 3 months. So
there's nothing that you've learned. There's nothing that you've learned that's changed your mind.
Absolutely. No.
It is just that because the process has gone on as long as it has, you feel to keep him there. All right.
Yes.
Anything else? Anything else you want to add,
Not
Bob?
at this time.
No, I just think I'm relishing the idea of being involved in this campaign. I look forward to, some debates. I look forward to.
And you'll debate your opponent
I'll
here,
debate my
here on the
opponent
radio,
on
wherever.
every street corner. I have no problem with that.
Let's do it on a street corner. I think that would be an interesting debate.
We like your better internet service out there.
Yes, we'll use public internet. We'll be just fine. Yeah.
Yeah, street corners are good.
That is, yes.
That's the old way.
That is the old way. Bob Cardillo, thank you. We'll do this again.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it. Interesting concepts on what should happen at St. Eve's. That's a big part of this year because it's going to be empty by next year. Quick break. John Decker on the line next. We have a lot to talk to. John is the chief White House correspondent for Gray TV and is oftentimes found on every once in a while on Air Force One with the president. We'll talk to John coming right up 8:51 at WIBX.
28 years ago, Lori Potasowicz had a dream. With a natural love for pets, she wanted to become an expert groomer. So she set out to become the area's only nationally certified master groomer and launched her business, one paw at a time. With grooming expertise and a lot of loving care, Lori and her talented team began caring for pets one paw at a time. Cuts, shampoos, and styling, one paw at a time. Teeth and nails with no detail overlooked from head to toe, one paw at a time. Getting to know each and every dog and cat by name, the one paw at a time family grew, and Lori had a decision to make. Keep expanding? She followed her heart and decided to keep the one paw family atmosphere just the way it is, so she can keep taking care of the pets she knows and loves, one paw at a time. Lori and her team want to thank the families they serve for putting their trust in them to care for their four-legged family members, one paw at a time. 320 Oriskany Boulevard in Whitesboro near Woods Road. One Paw appreciates your understanding for their current waiting list for new customers.
Adirondack Home Furniture's Flex Steel Big Game Sale is going on now, but only for a limited time. Hurry in for discounts up to 15% off select sofas, recliners, occasional pieces, and leather furniture. With hundreds of designer fabrics to choose from, your new piece is guaranteed to have the look you want. Stop dreaming and start creating the home of your dreams with quality, long-lasting Flex Steel furniture from Adirondack Home Furniture. Beauty and comfort is made to last with Flex Steel's exclusive lifetime warranty blue steel spring seating. Stop into Adirondack Home Furniture today and save up to 15% during their big game sale. Visit their Flex Steel gallery for the best selection of Flex Steel furniture on sale. The best value and top quality furniture for your home is at Adirondack Home Furniture. You don't want to miss out on the Flex Steel big game sale at Adirondack Home Furniture. Hurry in, sale ends soon. Located at the former Riverside Mall, Horatio Street, Utica.
Well, it's almost. We're just days away from Valentine's Day. And I have a couple of options for you if you're thinking about something special. Number one, they are ready for you at Hemstraat's. Open 7 days a week, online 24/7 at hemstraats.com. And Valentine's flavors for the half moons at Hemstraat's. You can purchase them. You can ship them anywhere. All there, ready for you at 900 Oswego Street in Utica. And you know Hemstraat's is open 7 days a week. Inside Hemstraat's is artisanal cheese, the most delicious imported cheeses from all around the world. Cheeses, cured meats, breads, pastries, and, of course, we mentioned the half moons. This cheese is artisanal. This is not the cheese you're going to get inside a grocery store. And along with it, when you get a block of imported cheese, it comes with a little card that references where it came from and what you're tasting. It is delicious. Perfect for a charcuterie board if you're doing that, or on its own as a snack or something for a dinner party. You name it, Valentine's Day just around the corner. Open 7 days a week. Visit them online at hemstraats.com. It's Hemstrott's and artisanal premium cheese.
WIBX 950 and 106.9 FM. This is Keeler.
So, I just wanted to mention in there as well with artisanal premium cheese. There is, I know I can't say the actual name of it, but there's a final football game before we bid farewell to the season.
We can't even reference it? I don't think that's true.
I just, because I was going to associate it with a sponsor, I figured I'd just steer clear.
Oh, you're right.
So I'm just going to say there's one final football game before we say farewell to the season, and you'll probably have many men and women enjoying, and this would be a great thing to put out there. Enjoy some artisanal premium cheese.
We're going to go a fire round, lightning round, I guess is what we'd call it. Fires burn slow. John Decker on the line right now from Gray TV. John, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Bill. Hope you're doing well today.
Doing well, and glad to have you back here. Let's do a little lightning round with there's some great topics out there. Let's start with the president meeting with Speaker McCarthy in the Oval Office, and of course the big topic out there is the debt ceiling. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are this. It's the first of what will likely be several meetings that McCarthy will have with Biden between now and June when we face the possibility of defaulting on our debt. Kevin McCarthy saying yesterday that there was some common ground reached between President Biden and himself. That being said, they are far apart. I mean, going into this meeting, Joe Biden said no negotiation. Kevin McCarthy said we are for extending the debt ceiling, but we also want some concessions from the White House, including cuts to federal spending. So I don't know how you split the difference there.
Yeah.
And Kevin McCarthy's under a lot of pressure from his own Republicans in the House in terms of getting some of those concessions from this White House.
Let's go to Nikki Haley. That news that she may very well become the next presidential candidate. Your thoughts?
Well, I don't know her path. You know, I mean, she's going to challenge Donald Trump for the Republican nomination. Where does she win? I mean, you know, does she win in Iowa? I don't think so. In New Hampshire? In South Carolina, her home state, if she loses there, then she's out. You know, it's a very short run for Nikki Haley. So we'll see where this goes. She's certainly well qualified. She served as governor of South Carolina. She served as U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. But she's going up against a juggernaut in Donald Trump, and I don't think that this is the person that's going to essentially push Donald Trump out of the way. It may be, you know, Ron DeSantis. It could be Mike Pompeo, but it's not going to be Nikki Haley, I don't think.
Interesting.
Will his nickname for her be Nasty Nikki Haley, or will he come up with something else?
I wonder what the nickname will be. You know, he did say that anyone who, you know, certainly someone close to him that would run against him would be certainly a bad act of disloyalty.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, boy.
How does he react?
He did say that. He did say that. You know, it's interesting to see whether he attacks her, whether he sees her as really stiff competition or not. But she will make it official in just 2 weeks' time. February the 15th is when she will make that official announcement in her home state of South Carolina.
And John, you said her background, you don't know a ton about it. I feel like the American people feel that way. I've always seen her as more as a VP at this point.
Yeah. I have about 90 seconds. Santos, in an interview, Representative George Santos, Tuesday saying he's largely always been above board.
Yeah, largely. Largely above board.
For the most
Sometimes
part.
I'm not above board.
Yeah. For the most part, I'm an honest guy. For the most part.
Right. There you go. So he has recused himself, as you know, from serving on any congressional committees. And I've made this point before. I don't think he's going to be serving out his 2-year term in Congress. I think he's going to be indicted on federal charges before then related to campaign finance violations.
Right, and that's the
he's got a
doozy,
lot of issues to deal with right now, that's for sure.
And then finally, FBI searching Biden's beach house yesterday.
Yeah, this is the third property of Joe Biden's that has been searched by the FBI. That's unprecedented. We're talking about a sitting president, and the FBI is searching his beach house. 2.5-hour search, and we also know that no classified documents were found during the course of that search. But this investigation, Bill, will continue likely for the next few months.
John, as always, we appreciate it. Thank you. We'll do it again next week.
I look forward to it. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. Safe travels.
Shouldn't they be searching Hunter Biden's home too? Just
they
by
might.
chance?
Gotta go. WIBX, Utica, Rome. It's 9 o'clock.
It's the sound a lot of people have been hearing in the South. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's a tree buckling in Austin, Texas. Its branches glazed over. It's like that in much of the state.
We found some frozen cars with iced over windshields and icicles hanging down. The ice also covered the trees and branches and power lines across Dallas.
Shannon Murray with Fox 4 TV says road crews have made driving easier.
While they are much better, it still is just wet and yucky, and you're going to have slushy, icy mixture that is still on the roads.
The ice storm blamed for 8 deaths. It's caused 400,000 power outages from Texas up to Tennessee, canceled more than 700 flights. And if you believe the most famous groundhog, we have 6 more weeks of winter coming.
I see a shadow on my stage.
Dan McKinley with the Punxsutawney Groundhog Club in Pennsylvania. And for any of you disappointed and hoping for an early spring, keep this in mind. Phil's not so great a forecaster. He's been wrong almost 2/3 of the time since 1969. We just got an update on the economy showing another slight decline in first-time unemployment claims, down to 183,000.